vampyr.
Something. There we
It's
go.
good. It's good.
Finally, we got something. Stage one, man. You got to start somewhere. No
Dude,
idea.
after like
Eh?
3 hours of
I
grueling
know, I
work
know,
with
I know.
OBS.
Trying to figure out all the. No, not even that. It's like how many weeks of trying to like actually like link up. It's the first time we got the show, right?
Dude, 3 weeks we've been trying to link up, man.
Mhm. And
Dude,
I just
like,
think this is funny that like I was like, this guy's got to be cool, man. He's got a fucking cat as his profile picture.
oh,
With
thank
thing.
you, thank you.
Yeah, it started just there, but then I heard you on B-Sup, and I'm like, no, he is cool. It was just for like, yeah, no, it's I liked it just from the picture alone, but then I was happily, pleasantly surprised that you seemed like a chill guy too. And like once I knew you're a horror fan, I figured we'd get along.
Oh man, horror is like my favorite genre, probably. I don't know, my favorite genre is romantic movies, weirdly enough. But I love horror movies with such a massive passion because I used to watch it all the time growing up as a kid.
Hmm.
And like to this day, I watch horror movies all the time. I watched two zombie movies yesterday. I watched Let the Right One In tonight
There
for
you
this,
go.
and then
Yes, got you
I've
to
been
watch
on a
it.
horror binge for the past 2.5 months, man, trying to make that top 10 list for Halloween.
Well,
And yeah, man.
it's for me. It's I got to give credit to my mom and my sister. They were watching horror movies around me like my entire childhood. So I remember seeing like Pinhead and like the Wishmaster and
Hmm.
like all sorts of different type of things. And they would always pretty much have no problem just corrupted me with horror movies at any time. So they would watch everything from good ones to bad ones, and like it just influenced my taste for certain things. Like for example, Lord of the Rings is probably like my favorite movie of all time. And I think one of
Hmm.
the underrated elements of Lord of the Rings is the horror aspect of it. Like Peter Jackson's influence, the fucking Nazgul, the way he did the Urukai, like the
Oh
whispering.
yeah.
Like there's a lot of really creepy scenes. Like one of my favorite jump scares is with Frodo getting jacked by that spider at the end, Shelob. Like you know what I mean?
Dude, I'm an arachnophobe, so
Yeah.
that like that one took my soul out. I'm not even gonna lie.
I
Seeing someone get wrapped by a
legit
spider,
the jump scare
no.
was so perfect, and then the rapping and everything. It just yeah, if you're scared of spiders, you're screwed, man. So
Hmm.
what's your thoughts on vampires in general? Like just as a fan.
Oh, dude, I like vampires. I think the vampirism is always something that's very interesting to explore because it's like you've got so many different versions of vampires and vampirism in general throughout the years. So you've got like the modern vampires like Twilight. You've got sort of the old noble type of vampires like in Let the Right One In, and
Hmm.
then you've got other stuff like for example you've got the vampires that are just Nosferatu type, just old things that are creatures, just monsters, not even
Hmm.
people anymore.
All
And
the
it's like
different type of
it's so
interpretations.
yeah, it's so good to see vampirism be something so vast but contained at the same time,
Yeah.
and it just gives playground. It's a massive playground for a lot of different directors or writers to tell stories in.
It just gives a lot of potential. Like the template, the base template for vampires are fantastic. In terms of the limitations that they have, the potential abilities that they have, it's just like a blank slate. Like there's so many different creative options you have when you have a vampire, and that's one of the things that I think is
Hmm.
appealing of it. But there's the other side of it that I'm curious about. What do you think is appealing about vampires to the casual audience compared to something like superheroes? Like superheroes generally only appeal to people who like superhero movies usually only appeal to people who like superheroes, and like a lot of other people
Yep.
won't take it seriously, but people usually don't have an issue taking vampires seriously, whether it's romance or like things like True Blood. There's so many different interpretations of it. Why do you think they're taken more seriously by like casuals than like other things like superheroes, for example?
That's actually a very, very good question that I
Hmm.
haven't ever thought about because it's like me as a kid, so I was always fascinated by monsters in general.
Hmm.
So
Who wasn't?
vampires was part of that. But my sister, who's very a normie person that isn't obsessed with any of the supernatural stuff, she got into vampires with Twilight. And I think a
Oh my
lot of
god,
young people of today did. And
these poor
I
kids.
think it's like v- vampires and vampirism is such a romantic thing in cinema.
Mm-hmm.
So you automatically get the a lot of the older women who are looking for that type of uh, steamy romantic touch that they can't find somewhere else.
Yep.
And then it's also the fact of like it's how do you say this? Like vampires are exotic, so it's mysterious, and you're always attracted to anything that's mysterious. So
Yeah.
having that mystery there, it's something that people are attracted to.
It's for me, I think that's one massive part of it. Like that there's the initial appeal of like the intimacy a vampire is gonna have to have with someone if they're trusting them, like
Hmm.
biting their neck. Like it's just like
Yeah.
it's pretty sexualized. It's the entire thing. But I think one of the main things for me is like, take for example Pennywise,
Hmm.
the clown from the It movies.
It movies,
What
yeah.
the fuck is the rules? What are you doing, dude? Like he apparently wants to scare kids because they taste better, but then why are you bugging the adults? It's just like I have so many questions of like how did like what's the point of this, you know? Where with
Dude,
vampires are like more inherently grounded. Like you have an understanding of the rules straight up. The fact that they need blood to live,
hmm
the fact that they can't go in the sun, like there's a base template in terms of the rules that I think makes them a little bit more grounded and believable. Like there's stakes with vampires. Like you can clearly understand the risks, the pros and cons. Where someone like Pennywise, I've got no idea what's going on. Someone like Jason
yeah,
from the
because
Friday movies, I have no idea what's going on. How's he
it's
teleporting?
it's it's your monster that has its limits.
Yes,
That's the good thing. It's like
yes,
you look at all the best monster movies. It's monsters that have actual limits. It's
hmm
the same for possession movies or any type of horror of that type, where oh look, we're doing an exorcism. The demon can literally raise up the priest and throw him out the window, but
hmm
never does it again. It's like
yeah. What are the
why?
rules? What are
You
the
know?
capabilities? Where and that's what's
Mm-hmm.
driving me nuts with just magic system or sci-fi fantasy things in general. Like look at
Yeah.
Star Wars where they turn the Force off at will whenever they need to, just to make it
Oh
to
yeah,
fake
force
tension.
healing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just they've broken it completely. It went from something slightly grounded that we can take seriously to now it's just a joke. And I think
Hmm.
vampires have managed to maintain that throughout so many different interpretations and still be taken seriously. I just find that fascinating compared to all the other movie monsters. A lot of the other movie monsters, like maybe aliens, but again, they're not as grounded in terms of the understanding. Everybody knows how vampires work, and there's something about that that's
Well,
given them an advantage. I think.
there's also the fact that vampires can either be characterized as, let's say, two ways. No, three. So either you have the vampire who's, well, just the dude, the homeless dude in the street, so very raggedy, has been living there for years, and the fact that I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Near Dark with Bill Paxton.
That's been on my
So
list for
this
a long time in terms of vampire movies. No, I
dude,
haven't seen
like
it.
you'll see what I mean by grimy, disgusting vampires when you watch Near Dark, and it's like just homeless people basically, because in reality, unless you made a lot of money to the point where you can hide your face every day and have people do stuff for you, people are gonna start questioning your immortality when
Yeah,
you're a vampire, you
yeah.
know?
There's so many complications there.
So Near Dark shows you how a regular person who was just turned into a vampire would live. So it's like down in the street, in the alleys, basically just have to run in an RV all the time. And basically, what you have is the other type. So the other type is portraying a vampire as like a noble person.
Mhm.
So very rich, aristocratic
Yeah, that's
motherfuckers.
usually how they like to
Or
portray them.
exactly. So there there's a certain elegance to them all the time. Or that then you come to the modern type of vampires, which is so let's say the Twilight sort of vampires. So they're regular people, but they still have the nobility and flair of those old vampires that from the Dracula era
Yeah,
stuff. So you have those three different ways of categorizing vampires in general, and you rarely see the first one that I mentioned. So the grimy, disgusting vampire.
yeah. You just there's three is like probably the most like common ones, but there's so many. Like look at Blade 2, the Reapers from there. in terms of different
Mm-hmm.
interpretations for vampires. I think that's one of the things that I think is so fascinating about them. So many different interpretations, yet all of them
Oh
somehow
yeah.
stay kind of grounded just within the rules of being a vampire and like having an understanding of how they work.
Yeah, there's one that I discovered quite recently. It's a found footage movie called Afflicted. So I don't know if you've heard of it or seen it.
I was gonna recommend that to you if you hadn't seen it. It's a found footage vampire movie, and I think that's one of the best because you get the feel like getting it from his perspective and seeing the friend and everything the way it plays
Mm-hmm.
out. And it's the type of movie like so many people probably haven't seen because it's probably wasn't great advertisement. It's not like you wouldn't even
No one's
tell.
heard of it,
And
man.
I do like movies like that have the balls to kind of like hide the premise because you can watch that movie for 15, 20 minutes and not know it's a vampire movie, and then it's like, where are we
Hmm.
going here?
Oh
It's like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
that was where I was shocked because
Yeah,
I was like, damn, this is turning into a superhero movie.
yeah.
This is pretty cool.
The,
And then nope.
the fight scenes were actually really really cool, the found footage style and everything, and like I just like the character work, and it's just an example of how the premise can work in so many different situations because we understand the rule set of a vampire. If he was turning into a
Hmm.
demon, we'd have so many questions, but he's turning into a vampire, we're automatically like, oh, okay, I know how that works. And I think that's
Yeah,
part of the reason, like back to my original thing where like I think that's part of the reason vampires are taken more seriously than a lot of other movie monsters.
yeah. I mean, because you know the requisite where it's bitten, turned. You know that you even know to the point where people have masters or not. You know
Yeah,
the familiars with
yeah,
vampires.
so
Like
many different
everyone
concepts.
knows stuff like this. So it's something that you can easily use to touch people. And I think that vampirism is a super smart thing to do. And
Hmm.
as you said before, everyone knows the essentials of what makes a vampire, which is the same thing about like we were talking before zombies, man. Like everyone knows what makes a zombie.
Hmm. Yeah, it,
Easily accessible.
it makes it really like have the mass appeal for both of those is huge, and I think
Hmm.
one of the things I like the most about this movie, Let the Right One In, is all the concept with vampires and all the things I like about them. I feel like this movie plays with them in one of the most tasteful ways, like exploring the lore and like all the little questions that you would ask, and even questions that you would have thought of. They do a pretty good job of explaining it without being like overboard, and the way they blend it into like a coming of age story, I just think is unique. It's my personal favorite vampire movie overall in terms of like the best representation I've
Ooh.
seen for the vampire. The Ellie and like her whole demeanor and the way she conducts herself and like the pain you can see behind her eyes and like every word, the way she chooses to every word so carefully. It's just like this is what I picture when I picture a vampire. It's like one of my favorite interpretations ever in terms of all the elements
Yeah,
they put
because
together.
the movie itself is great
Hmm.
because it comes from such a unique perspective. So you've got two kids that are your main characters. One of them is a vampire. The thing is that you can either approach the movie from let's say a childlike perspective. So you've got a lot of movies that try and keep it of a whimsical nature. So you could say you keep it a bit family friendly because you have kids as the main character, so you try and go through them. So you have two extremes to that. You either have the just keep it slightly above real, or you go the Jojo Rabbit route of everything is seen through this character's eyes, and it's a bit whimsical because they are a child, you
Hmm.
know. But it wouldn't suit the overall tone that the movie is trying to do because it's very Fincher type Seven, you know, the way that the violence is portrayed and
Yeah,
everything like that. It wouldn't
gritty.
match a kid's tone. And also, you've got the factor that it's a vampire movie too. So how do we make this a unique vampire feature? Do we just make it focusing on the vampire itself, focusing on the people and their experiences with being thrown into a world where vampirism exists? You
Hmm.
know, there's a lot of different perspectives that you could have chosen for this specific movie, and I just think that they found the perfect ones, and they just did a such a great mix. Where even on the first time watch, I thought that this was incredible.
Yeah, it's I couldn't agree more when it comes to that. It's it takes what was I gonna say? It takes a lot of the elements that you would expect, but plays with them in such a getting it from his Oscar's perspective, like being able to have
Hmm.
everything unfold and see it from his perspective, just makes it so much more like close to home and intimate. It really makes you feel like what it would be like, what it would feel like to live next to a vampire, and like just the subtle little changes, like how as soon as she moves in, you notice the cardboard on the wall, on the window,
Hmm.
and rather than just having it being like explicit, they just let you absorb it slowly through all the scenes. Like I find it fascinating that
Yep.
the word vampire is only used once in the entire movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's like a direct thing. It's used where he's literally asking, "Are
yeah,
you a vampire?"
and it's earned. It's earned. So that's
Hmm.
yeah, that's definitely one of the things I would say. It would be my biggest compliments of this movie. The scenes are earned. They all happen in a natural way where like this makes sense, but also giving us good information and things that we'd be curious about.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
You ready to
Man,
get into this?
movies good. Yeah, man. Let's do this.
All right. Let me skip around a little bit. So, cold open. And
A
one of the
really, really good cold open.
yeah, just they really make you feel I just the atmosphere of this movie. I do like the winter feel and everything, like the shot selection. And I really do
Hmm.
like the contextless line of squeal like a pig, cuz like like what does that even mean, like when you're thinking and you realize that he's alone in his room doing that, but it's just setting up for little things for later. But what I like
Hmm.
about this
Yep.
scene the most is one of the things that I crave in storytelling: show don't tell for both of them. You, other than squeal like a pig, you're not really getting any dialogue or any clarity, but we still get an understanding of both characters right away just from seeing them come in.
I totally agree with you. I just think that the movie's entirely show don't tell most of the time. It
Mm-hmm.
just it leaves a lot for the viewer to decipher. So the faces, for example, the caretaker guy, I forget his name, but I think it's Hakan. That's the caretaker for Ellie,
I just
and
called him the Guardian.
yeah, that's it. And it's like you don't really get a lot about his life, but just in the few scenes where he and her interact, you can tell that there's enormous mutual respect.
Yep.
And it's like that's all you need. You don't have to hear him sit down and say something like, "Oh, I remember
Yep.
when you were
Oh
younger and
man, you're
when you
nailing it.
found me." And
Yeah,
it's like, come on,
that's
man.
exactly what I love about this guy. He says fucking like two words the whole movie, but he's like one of my favorite characters in the whole thing because he's so committed to this role. You can get this without even saying much about it. You get the sense he's been doing this for decades. This is his life, and
Yep.
I love I I do have some issues with him in terms of like why is this fucker so sloppy? Like, come on, dude, you've been doing this long. You should like he's the type
Dude,
of character I would read the book. I if anyone's wondering, I haven't seen the book, but I think I might because I want to know more about this guy. I feel like there's so much. He's so fascinating. But you're right. Like
dude,
they
I
do
feel
him
like
perfectly.
he's dumb sometimes because it's like, oh
It's,
yeah,
I
it's time to gas this person, kidnap them, and instead of just
I
bleeding them out in my own house, I'll do it in the middle of the
I
forest. Fuck it.
genuinely feel like there's something major that we're missing there in terms of context. He can't be that stupid when he has that much experience, but we'll get to it. We'll get to that part of exactly what you're talking about. I have two major nitpicks for this movie, and that's one of the big ones. So we see Oscar in the room, and confirming that he's
Hmm.
alone, and you get the shot of Ellie and what did you say his name was? Because I'm just gonna keep calling him the Guardian.
Dude, I called him the caretaker, but I think his name is Hakan or something like that.
Hakan. Okay, whichever one we
Yeah.
remember. And I just find this is such an ominous shot of Oscar, especially since we don't know much about him. He's just this creepy kid at the window saying "squeal like a pig." And the first shot of
Yeah, with
Ellie.
this knife too.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I don't even think they've showed it yet. The first shot of Ellie, and you get the knife's coming up. You get the sense of her being like special in some way because it didn't seem like even from the beginning
Hmm.
on first watch, I didn't get father daughter vibes from this. I got like clearly
Oh,
this
me
is just take
neither.
care of it, like the guardian of some kind,
Yeah,
protector.
because already you've got the time of arrival and the way that she descends from the vehicle. So
Hmm.
it's like someone opens the door for her, she pops out, she goes in, and then he stays out and takes the luggage and goes in and follows her. Which of course definitely not what a father would do,
Yep.
and definitely not what a daughter would do. They probably just pop out the car. They wouldn't wait for it to open. So
Just from the body
either
language.
you think that, yeah, it's like either you think that it's like a servant and like person relationship, or either you think that there's something deeper in it. And that's just starting your movie with mystery, man,
Yeah,
hooking in your
there.
audience.
That's what I mean. Why? What do you mean squeal like a pig? What's the knife? Like, who's this kid? What's that? There's so many questions, and like,
Hmm.
there's been like 2 words yet. That's what I like about it. And you get the
Yep.
creepy
It's like, why
shot.
is he shirtless? It's winter, man.
You get the creepy knife shot. Oh, let me mute that just in case. Yeah, the creepy knife
Yeah.
shot, and you get a sense of like, okay, this kid's obviously a little strange. You don't really know what it's setting up
Hmm.
yet, but at least we know, like, we get a sense that he's a little bit of a weirdo. And I really do like that first shot of him looking down, just setting up how off he is in terms of
Oh, dude. Like I genuinely thought that this kid was like Travis Bickle as a kid. I was like, what the
the soul
the first
scrapbook and
shot?
everything.
I was like, Jesus, man. Yeah.
But yeah, they both perform it so fantastically. So we get them into, they get right into the house, move right in.
Hmm.
Oscar puts away his knife, freaking weirdo.
Yeah,
And
what a weirdo,
this was
man.
the very first thing that you clue in on, the fact that they immediately. Oh, is the screen cut
Hmm.
off or is it good on yours?
No, no, it's a bit cut off. Like you're too zoomed in.
Am I? Okay, let me fix that for anyone who's there. Just a little bit, hopefully. Whoops.
Yeah. All right. Good. Good. Good.
That's good.
Yep. Perfect.
You sure? Okay. All right.
Yep.
I can't see shit.
Back to normal.
Okay. And this is the first sign you get something's up. Just the first sign of something
Oh
being
wait,
off.
it went back.
Oh crap. Okay. Just a second.
Bear with us, people. We've been
Bear with
fighting with
us.
OBS for a while.
Yeah, OBS is a bitch.
uh,
Oh wait, no, that's.
don't say that, man. You don't know OBS will probably come and haunt you
I
now. They'll
know, I
fuck up the
know.
stream.
Wait, I think I could shrink this down. Bear with me,
Yeah.
bear with me, people. How's that?
All right. It's Yep. Okay. Good.
Is that good enough?
Yeah. Yeah. Good.
You sure? Good.
Yep. Yep.
All right.
100%.
Okay. And you get the first sense of something being off when you see them immediately covering up the window.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
It's
that's.
also like I love the way they made the poster there. It's like I'm watching you.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's kind of creepy.
Like there's constantly someone watching you, and well, that's what she does the entire movie to him.
Hmm.
She just washes over him.
And I find it like, this would be off-putting for me too, as like a neighbor, seeing that it's just cardboard. Like they want to block out that window so urgently that they're willing to put some sloppy ass
Hmm.
cardboard up. It just seems so suspicious.
Especially it's once you arrive too, you know. It's not even a matter of settling in or anything. It's like, yeah, we're here, boom. First thing we do is that.
Yeah, that's the
Really
fact that
weird.
that was a priority. I find so strange to them. And we get one of our future side characters,
I think this is a lackey.
Lackey or Lack.
Yeah, lack or lackey.
We get the first of a couple class scenes, and I found this one the most interesting because Oscar's answer was actually like really clever in terms of like his understanding of why they would know that the fire. Do you remember this one?
Yeah. The fire in Angby, and they were saying that how does he discover?
That the
Like how
person
do they know?
that the fire was set to cover up evidence, and the person didn't actually
Yep.
die. And Oscar had a really clever answer that pretty much the whole class roasted him for, saying that there, the victim, there was no smoke inside of the lungs, so they know that he was killed beforehand. He wasn't killed by the fire.
Uh-huh.
And I almost get the sense that this dickhead teacher was like, "You fucker, you just stole my like, you just spoiled
Dude,
my answer," and he just wants to roast him for it. Like it
I was
seemed
even
like a
surprised that they were teaching this in school. I was like,
yeah.
what the fuck is going on, man?
Hmm.
Jesus, what is this morbid stuff? What are they teaching in Sweden, man?
But it just highlights that like for him to have that type of knowledge, he must be into some weird, creepy things. So I feel like that's why everyone gives him the look.
Yeah, I
And
mean, even my notes, it says like the kid's interest in more morbid stuff is very clear from the get-go,
yeah,
which is well, it's probably like a sign of mental instability from what you're seeing to this point in the movie,
the fact
where
that he's comfortable with it.
exactly. It's like the person is comfortable. You've seen them with a knife saying that they want to gut like someone like a pig, and then that's all you know at this point of the character, which is
Yeah,
supposed to be your main character. So it's not portraying a flattering picture of a child.
but it's also mysterious though. Like, yeah, I'm kind of neutral because I want to know why he's saying this. So what that like? Obviously, there's something wrong with this kid, but it's not like I'm
Mm.
immediately off put. I'm curious. I'm curious to see what his issue is and what's going on. And you can
Yep.
see just from the very beginning of the scene just how different he is than the rest of the class. But I just felt like the teacher. My note was like this teacher was just salty as fuck. Like Oscar spoiled his like he wanted to keep that over the kids and like Oscar ruined it. And instead of giving him his high
Dude,
five for being knowledge, he just kind of shits on him with the rest of the class.
like I don't even think that this is a teacher. Like it's weird because I thought that it was a person that they brought in to talk. Because I feel like it's more of a policeman or something.
Yeah, you know what? That does make sense because I think the teacher was female and she's off to the right now. So this guy was just some
Hmm.
dickhead they brought in. That makes more sense.
A random ass dude, bro,
Yeah.
coming to talk about fire to kids. It's like,
Hmm.
yeah, fuck it.
And then we get the first bullying scene, and you get the idea. You pretty much confirm that he doesn't defend himself, so you can kind of piece it together from
Hmm.
here. And
Yeah,
just
this is where you get the piggy line.
piggy, dickhead, and it's just the classic bully of like he doesn't want to fight. He just wants to bully somebody, and he knows that Oscar won't defend
Hmm.
himself, so he can get this. He can get out whatever issues he has, and he takes it out on Oscar. We all know these type of bullies. They're dickheads. You smack them once, and
And
they
you also
never
get like the
they never bug you
yeah, it's
again.
like you also get like the setup of the fact that he prepares for everything by speaking to himself. So right now, like he was prepared to go and confront the bully and like telling him exactly what the bully's supposed to tell him. So what he says when he's in his bedroom alone,
Mhm.
and he does this later again when I think they bully him again. And when they scratch up his face, and he says, like, he just starts saying outside to himself, he's like, I ran into a pole. I ran into a pole. And then the next scene, they just cut to him speaking to his mother at the dinner
Oh,
table. It's like,
prepping his
yeah,
story.
exactly. It's like
Yeah.
so you can see him like it gives you little character elements that just tell you so much about them by doing so little.
Yeah, it's really, really subtle. Every single thing they do with Oscar is subtle, but like significant. You can get an idea of everything from the very beginning. Even his scenes with
Mhm.
his moms was actually pretty telling. Like you can get a lot of the about the dynamic with those two.
Yeah, you get a lot
Hmm.
about him, his mom, and like everyone else. You can see that he's happy with his dad, though.
Oh yeah. I think that's. I was thinking about the dad scenes. Like what are they? It's basically to show the contrast, like the complete contrast, and
Hmm.
like and I'll have more to say about that as we come. And we get back on his way home, and he sees the cardboard up. I think this is probably his first time seeing it. I assume because he was inside when they
Yeah.
locked it up. Let's see what we got here. Now I found this so fucked up. This motherfucker didn't even clean out the thing from the last time. He's like draining the little
Oh
bit of
no.
blood that's still
Yeah.
left in it. But I do love that they don't have to be explicit. You could still just be like, "What's going on here?" Strange
Yeah, because
kit.
me at first I was like, what the hell is this guy doing?
Mm-hmm.
Either he's a killer, because on first glance you don't really put two and two together that this guy is the was the caretaker that you saw in the scene before. So it's only after that it comes to your mind that he's the caretaker.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, just again, more intrigue. What's he doing with a gas mask, which is homemade? Are
The
you kidnapping
the
people?
blood could be anything. It's like okay. But then the second you see, or no, sorry, the red liquid could be anything. But then the second you see
Hmm.
this gas mask, you're like, okay, what the fuck was that? That was blood, wasn't it? What's going on
Yep,
here? And it's just,
exactly.
and you see the whole kit, and like from there, something is off.
Yeah, and the way that he meticulously just fits it in the bag too, it's like,
Like he's
oh,
done it
okay,
a
so
million
this isn't,
times.
yeah, this isn't the first time.
Hmm. Now, this is the beginning of my major nitpick with this character because it's such an important thing where I maybe this is a situation where it's actually darker in the scene. They had to film it this way, but I still don't think I just think that's a mistake. Heads up. I can give him a pass on the first one, the first part here.
Hmm.
The second part, like him getting the guy. Okay, we don't know if this is the middle of the forest. Maybe this is a little of a pathway. It looks like it's open, but I can give him a
Looks
pass on this
like a
one.
pathway.
And I could give maybe for all we know, he can see like each direction for like a long, long distance. This might be a decent
Hmm.
spot for all we know. Like knowing that there's no one else out here. A little sloppy, but
True.
we'll give him a pass. He grabs him. He gives him the old Dexter style. Now, this is the
Yeah,
part
I
where
wonder how much like it's so weird because it's like the dude comes back. It's like, yo, do you got the time? It's like, no, I don't have a watch. Okay, bye, good night.
wait, which guy?
Boom,
Which guy?
done. The dude that he just kidnapped. He asked him for the time.
Oh yeah, and then he started showing him the thing, and he got like fascinated. I think he was just a
Yeah,
super trusting guy. He caught a bum. Like that wouldn't have worked on
yeah.
me. Is all I'm saying.
Oh, for real, bro. I would have been like, a watch. Like, I don't have a watch.
Mm.
Okay, be like, I'm out.
I would be
No.
like, wait, you're telling me you're standing out in the cold waiting for someone to walk by with a watch so you can tell what time it is? Get out of here.
It's like, so you're here. You don't know what time it is. You don't have a rendezvous. Nothing.
No,
It's
he's
like,
creepy.
nope.
I could give him a
Mm,
pass in the first one because we don't really truly understand the terrain fully. But then, what the
sure.
fuck is this?
Yeah. Well,
What are you doing, buddy?
let's just do it in the middle of the night. No issue. Just probably people are gonna be what, at most 500, 600 meters away. Maybe. Hopefully they don't have a dog. But hey, fuck it.
And it's just he's even before the establishing scenes that we're gonna get. He clearly, from his kit, from his demeanor, his age, from the fact he's in plastics, he clearly's got a process here. He's not stupid, but he's still stupid enough to
Hmm.
do this. I don't understand. I feel like there's a scene missing or context missing. They've established that he's smart enough to not do something like this, yet he still does it. So I find it so strange, especially when you know what it leads to, right? Sloppy,
Yeah,
sloppy,
and
sloppy.
it's weird because maybe I think that this would work if the character wanted to sort of maybe get caught or end his own life. Because if they try to mix in that element, maybe
Yeah,
it
if
could
you
have worked better to
succumb by
explain
the
why he
guilt.
was sloppy.
So,
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
but I didn't get that at all. I got full commitment from him. Like he seemed like
hmm
even in his last words, like I didn't get that. It's for one of the most interesting characters. I think it's a major mistake that a lot of people can actually discuss because
yeah, it's just sloppy. I mean, even lighting aside, maybe does just say like it's likely Brit for
yeah,
like
just for
for the
us.
scene. Even just lighting aside, this is a stupid thing to do in the middle of the forest.
The lack of like the trees, like they're so open. You're telling me you couldn't find a denser spot? Like I find it so
Hmm
strange. But either way, with all its mistakes, it's still really creepy and like ominous scene. Just the idea of like what the fuck that he's draining
Yeah,
this
because at
guy's
this
blood.
point,
It's so
you don't
fucked
you
up.
don't know what he's doing,
You don't
and
know
even
why he's doing it is the big thing. Like you can see that
uh-huh.
he's draining him, but what is the purpose?
And it's also such a weird way to end someone's life too. It's like you put them upside down specifically to drain their blood.
Yeah,
It's like,
there's got to be a
what?
reason to this. And then the fucking poodle, you stupid little, you screwed everything up.
It's like, dude, I'm surprised that he didn't just like take out the dog. Cause hell, it's like,
He's so
bro.
honestly. Yeah, you're right. You know what's funny? You know what he does instead? He tries to throw some snow at it. Like he
Yeah, it's
fucking
like, shoo,
he like
shoo.
he throws snow at the dog and like thinks that's gonna work. Where is it? Yeah, so he packs up all his shit. He panics when he hears the
Hmm
voices, and this
Then
fucking
shoots the dog.
moron forgets the blood.
Yep,
Wait, I think my
the
five
number one
second.
thing you came for.
Yeah, there's the girls.
Hmm
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucked
they
up.
are.
And just the fact that there's girls there walking their dog just confirms that this probably wasn't the best area, you know? So it's such a
And they didn't
strange.
take too long to pull up on him too, because they were there. Like, so the dog was there, and they came up what, less than 30 seconds later.
Exactly, whatever
So
path.
it's
So
like
it's
you're
just
really not that far.
I don't want to just call it contrived, but it is, and I just feel like there's something missing here. It'd be nice to like I would love to have answers for that scene. Anything.
Hmm
Let's see.
Yep.
So we have our creepy Oscar coming out again, trying to do the next rehearsal.
Yes, rehearsal
Now
with the
with the
tree. It's
tree,
like, yeah,
his best friend, the
there you go. I
tree.
told you, Travis Bickle, man. You looking
Yeah,
at me?
man.
You looking at me?
It's creeper. But you can see the differences in the difference in his demeanor here, the confidence and like in his voice.
Hmm
Like he compared to when he was with the kids, he was just frozen.
Yeah.
And one of my
Just
favorite introductions, the way they do this here,
yeah, the way she just like
the
pops up. You're like,
creepy
what the
shot of
fuck?
her here. Like, what are you doing here?
Hmm
What
It's
are
just
you
the
doing?
way that it's portrayed, the way that
Hmm
she just stands there too, and
Everything. Because she's
you
clearly, if you
you
pull it
got
back, you get the shot of it. She's not there. This is a few
hmm
seconds of him stabbing, and then it's just such
no
a
noise too.
yeah, it's just such a perfect introduction.
I mean, you've got no noise. You know that it's a kid. You can tell that it's a kid. Although the person isn't dressed like a kid, in addition to not being dressed for the weather at all. There's just like question upon question that just runs through your mind.
Yeah. Everything. As soon as Oscar flips out, like, who are you? How did you get there? Why didn't I hear you? Why aren't you dressed? Like all these things are probably
Hmm.
running through, and he's probably attracted to her too. Like there's probably just that all at once as he turns around. Overwhelming moment for
Yep.
him. Let me see.
Dude, I know for a fact that I probably would have gone back home and I was just like, oh hell no.
I'm gonna do the pause
Nah.
play. I don't want to miss the hover.
Mm-hmm. The way she hovers too is pretty cool.
I
It's
like.
just
I
like,
really like the way they do it. Yeah. A little sarcasm.
I wonder if she was on wires for it
I don't
because
know
she
how
did
they did it
descend
exactly, but
slowly.
they I don't know, but I like the way they did it. I'm not sure exactly. This should be fine. Just 2 seconds here.
Yeah. You just never know with
You never know.
YouTube.
You never know, but they got to see this. It's just, how do you react to this as Oscar? Like,
Yep.
so
Yeah,
smooth.
like a princess.
So smooth, so graceful. And it's just so subtle. They didn't have to make some big bong. Like, if this was the Insidious movie, they would have some big loud noise in your ear just fucking you over.
Dude, they like once she hits the snow, they'd probably have like 10,000 cuts where they're like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, I know, I
With the
know. It's
violin sounds.
just, yeah. They don't know when to be subtle, which drives me nuts. And
Oh
I
hell
find
no.
it so strange that the first thing she goes into is, I can't be your friend.
Mhm.
And this
It's
is
like,
just confusion
okay.
for this dude. This guy's still processing. Where the fuck did you come from, and why don't you have a jacket? And she's talking about friendship. Is there have to
Man,
be? That's just the way it is.
it's such a weird thing too because the entire film they'd never speak like children, so they always speak like adults, and I don't think that the movie could have worked properly and do what it wants to do in terms of themes and all of that. I don't think that it would have worked properly if Oscar acted like a normal kid. So even if he's bullied, just the fact that he acts like a normal kid would have dampened the story completely.
100%. I think that's part of the reason he was appealing to her. Like, she was there
Hmm.
watching that whole thing. Like, this guy's obviously like a little. He's different. Like, if she's gonna open herself up to somebody, she's got to be really picky about it, right? And like, he's
Yep.
immediately seems like he's introverted. Obviously, he's a little weird. There's something here.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
what I
and
love here. Go ahead.
I was about to say like it's his loneliness too. It's the fact that she can tell that he's alone and she's alone as well.
Yeah.
Even though she does have the caretaker, the film does portray her as an incredibly lonely
Yep,
person.
yep. And I feel like that type of person, someone who has such an understanding of loneliness, can see it in other people, like instantly. It's our first impression of Oscar, and the squeal like a pig thing just confirms it. And I love how he just
Yep.
freezes and then thinks of a comeback like way too late. What did he say? What did he say? Where is it?
Dude, like, I think I'd be the same way. It's just
Yeah,
like you just see a
'cause he's-
random person pop in, they fly, you're like, what the fuck?
I might have taken a second too to think of a comeback. Yeah, he's like, "What makes you think I want to be your friend?" Just like an hour later. Oh, Oscar. Now this guy, he screwed up. And I love how you see him. He knows he's in trouble, and he just gets completely roasted by Ellie. And this is the first time you really get a sense, like confirmation of the dynamic. Like he's roasting him. I mean, she's roasting him.
She's roasting him,
Yeah,
yeah.
like, and you can see him on his
And
face. This isn't
she's
a
roasting him in a like in an eloquent way too. So it gives you a lot about her age as well. Because the only times that you sort of hear about her age is when she says that she's been 12 years old for too long. Or whenever you see, those little flashes of when you see her as an old woman.
I noticed that for the first time on this watch. I was like, "What the fuck is that?" Oh shit! Yeah, yeah.
Dude, it scared the shit out of me. I was like, what the
Creepy.
heck? Dude, I was like, what the fuck?
Because that's the reality that she's hiding within, you know. So it's just,
Hmm. And they
yeah.
only do it twice in the movie.
And they chose the
only
right
show
times. They chose the right
twice.
times for sure.
Mhm.
And
So it's
just from
like
his,
you can tell by her mannerisms, her sort of her age.
I love that they focus this entire shot while she's raging at him just on his face, because it's not like it's guilt. Like he's just taking it on the chin. Like he knows he fucked up. It's not like he's begging for forgiveness. Like it says a lot about the strange dynamic of the relationship. Like he looks more like he failed like in his duties, and he's like guilty at the same time. So strange.
Yeah, and it's like it's also because he fucked up that there's another person that gets killed.
Yes, he
So
knows. Yeah, there's so much at play here. He knows he fucked up. He's getting roasted, and he knows that this is the line right here. do I really have to take care of myself? That's when we're like, okay, what's
Yeah.
going on here? What's happening here?
Yeah, and it's like also as a person because he doesn't seem like the person who wouldn't be remorseful after killing an innocent bystander.
No, no.
y- so you can tell that having to take another life is just like, oh man, I already took that life. I now have to do it again
Yep.
because I fucked up.
More drama. I feel like you just see the stress of years of this on that man's face. I think it's part of the reason they casted him.
Oh yeah,
So
for
we're
sure.
hearing
I mean,
about.
like,
Go ahead.
they also never give you an indication on how long they've been together, uh, her and him.
That's now. This is where my theory comes in because I truly think what um the result of this movie is Elle grooming Oscar to be that role in that position. Like I can totally
Oh
picture
yeah,
80
yeah, yeah.
years from now Oscar being that same dude. Like for him
No,
to
dude,
have
I
that type of
agree.
commitment, he must have been doing that. I can see that guy. He's probably been doing that with Ellie since he was like 11. He was probably in love with her just
Hmm.
like Oscar. I think this is the recycle all over again. And that's what I that's
Oh yeah.
with that interpretation, I don't need that many answers from him. It's all there. Except why are you so sloppy, bro?
Hmm.
Why are you so
No,
sloppy?
yes, sir.
Everything, you know what I mean? Just give me 30
Dude, I
go
have
ahead, go ahead.
the same interpretation as you, man. Like, I really think that she's just kind of like grooming him to become the next caretaker for her. Cause like, I mean, she's probably someone who knows how to do this stuff considering her age. So she knows the in and out. She probably knows like human psychology and stuff, which is why she goes for him because he's also lonely.
She
So how do you entice a lonely person? You just tell them, well, we can be lonely together,
yeah.
you know?
She needs someone and she needs someone loyal. She knows it's the type it's this is Willy Wonka's golden ticket. You know what I mean? She needs to
Yeah.
find the right person to like actually take this role. And
Hmm.
there's she understands the weaknesses too. One of the things that I totally forgot, and I think is one of the most powerful scenes, motherfucker saves her life. Like they have to sleep, they have to
Yeah.
do their coffin shit, and I love the fact that their interpretation of a coffin, we'll get to it, but their interpretation of a coffin is legit her in the bathtub, just covered in blankets and cardboard and whatnot, just whatever we need to
Yeah.
do to get it done. I think that's so cool. Like just that's it's a concept that they incorporated, but obviously she's not going to be carrying coffins around. But how do we like recreate
Hmm.
that, right? It's so cool. I love the way
It's
they do
like,
that.
yeah, it's like little things like this, little details are good because you've got other movies that tackle vampirism, and what they do is like, oh no, they only have to sleep in a coffin, but the coffin has to have the dirt of their native soil. It's like, my brother, please.
Like, what
Like,
is all that
what is
shit?
this
Like, come
bullshit,
on
man?
now. Like, for me, it's like, let's simplify it. They need to be covered as they're sleeping. They can't risk being exposed to light or anything else. They need to be protected
Hmm.
during that. That's my idea of a coffin or the vampire's like routine. And what's the
Yep.
most efficient way to do that? A coffin. So it's sealed, that just it all fits. I think that they sleep in coffins because of the utility out of them, not the fact that they need these
Hmm.
sacred coffins with this sacred blood ground and the dirt of my aunt. Like fuck all that. You convolute shit when it comes to that. I love the fact that
Yeah, it's
she's
like
legit in
a
a bathtub
a
with some
dark.
blankets.
Yeah, it's like a dark place. That's all I need. It's like it has to be comfortable too. Like I'd go on a bed, but I wouldn't take the risk of having maybe the blinds break during the night and
Exactly.
I wake up fried.
And you
It's
wake
like,
up
oh
dead.
hell no,
I
man.
think it makes so much sense, and they just the utility of a coffin is what you get to. But you get to just like you described. There's the aristocratic ones who are gonna own coffins, probably like fancy
Hmm.
ones, versus someone like this who's just sleeping in a bathtub with some cardboard. I love seeing the range.
Yep.
Let's see, piggy.
Oh yeah, going home after school and
Yep.
stuff.
And you just get the
Well,
sense that his mom is like constantly just like worrying him and nagging him. It's just the classic like
hmm
the single mom syndrome where like all she has is like worrying about this kid and he's just like this little weirdo who's doing like the creepy cutouts. You see him sneak the newspaper here.
the newspaper, yeah, and
And
it's
here
like
we
you can also
go
see
ahead.
from the mom that she's not trying to. She's basically trying to push away the weird side that she
Yes.
knows exists in her kid.
Hide it up.
Because it's like,
She's trying to just brush it under the table rather than embracing it. It's
yeah,
just one of
it's
those
something
things.
that you don't want to
Treat it as a
address because
phase.
you already have something like big, her as a single mom. You rarely see her because you can tell that she's always busy.
Yeah.
Even when she's in the house, she tries to do her best to just chill with the kid, but if the kid wants to go do something on his own, she's always just like, yeah, okay, just
Yep, go
go
ahead.
and do that so that you're happy, you
There's
know?
even that one scene of her trying to she's like, oh, I guess I'll just watch it on my own. So like the mom actually
Yeah.
has really good scenes in terms of like the exposition we get. We find out that that they're split up. You can kind of get the sense of that, but then we get
Hmm.
the line here where we find it out, and just the loneliness. Like she's just for a character who's got like 4 scenes. I think the mom did a really good job just portraying
Yeah,
a
she
worried
does.
mom. Like she's really believable. And then we get
She
the
does. And
scenes. Go ahead.
No, and I was about to say like there's one thing that I have with the movie at this point is where so I don't know, yeah, so they found the body the of the caretaker that he was trying to dispose of.
Yeah.
And I think in this scene, if I remember correctly, the mom is trying to warn him that they found a body, which also is relevant later on because they go to school and the school talks about it too.
Hmm.
But there's one problem that I had is that the town never really installs a curfew or anything like that. So
Um,
it is relevant to like the later stages of the movie of having all these kids walk around at night, specifically at night, so that Ellie can make an appearance, of course, you know?
I think there's a line from the mom in terms of cussing Oscar for coming home late, but it would just depend on what protocol is for that type of thing. Like I could see that immediately if he was a kid, but since it would, yeah, that is actually a good question in terms of why there wouldn't be more panic when something like that happened.
Yeah,
Like they made it
or
seem like
like
I almost felt like it was
why
more
wouldn't
common
the
for them. Did people get slit like all the
exactly.
time? Like it's just a common occurrence for them. So yeah, I would say
Dude,
that
that's just how it is.
that could be something that definitely could be improved on, like having an understanding of how the town react to this, because they just seem pretty chill, like
Hmm.
people getting jacked. And I agree with I'm so fucking happy you brought this up on the Blade stream. Bless you for this. The fucking NPC problem, the Grand Theft Auto. Blade could literally murder someone in the street, and people would be like, "Oh my god!" Anyways, and then back to their fucking shopping. Like it's just they react for a second and then they're back. They just don't pretend. That I remember as a kid that even bothered me. I'm like, why is no one panicking? Like what's going on here?
Dude, I remember when I was doing the live stream and I was rewatching the movie, I was like, man, like nobody's reacting to jack shit right now.
Nothing.
So I literally took screenshots like after the kid gets thrown into the bus, and it's like you just see the people around. They're like, yep,
Yo, that
good man. It's
that
it's a, it's a beautiful day.
That kid is a tank, by the way. Like she would have been
Oh
fucked
man.
up, broken ribs, fucked up shoulder, knocked some teeth out. Like she just tanked that, and like also Blade can have it. I still love the scene because for me I think those are one of when you have great characters or like anti-heroes like Blade and whatnot. You need those
Hmm.
moments of like, okay, what do you really like? What is there on the inside? Like really, when the chips are down, are you gonna go after Frost or are you gonna save the kid? He saves the kid. It's one of the most important character scenes for Blade. But it's ruined by
Yep.
all the NPCs. Like I walked around, you know what I'm saying? Like it's such an important scene, but Frost get his shitty makeup and all the NPCs. It's like, oh my god, I was like, thank you for bringing that up. I was freaking out because nobody else mentions that shit. It's crazy.
Oh, dude, at least here they acknowledge a lot of the stuff. So, here is like you get a little snippet of him making his like weird scrapbook,
Mm-hmm.
but then at least when they show the school and everything, the school, the first thing you hear is yeah, they found the kid yesterday. Counselors are here all day and all week if you need
There
like
we
to
go. You
to
know what?
talk.
There we go. That I think that a little improvement on the critique that you had because like I feel like at that stage counseling, mandatory counseling for the kids, I think that makes sense.
Hmm.
But I think at least we got that. But like a full ban like curfew, maybe I could see a curfew mandated if it was a kid, but I think the counseling makes sense. I think that should be good enough.
Yeah, and it's like I could also imagine maybe how would it be like at least a line from the mom of her being a bit more overprotective than usual
I
after
think
this.
that might have been what we got on the phone when she's talking. Like I think she's talking about like, oh, you walking a mile. Like I think this is like the mom. The panic
Yeah.
is there is because of that. I'd have to go through the dialogue, but I think this is her like kind of addressing that. You can just tell
Mm.
she's worried about him constantly. Classic mom.
Yep, and classic random kid just making a scrapbook of
Yes,
morbid stuff,
yes,
man.
just a creeper, a little Dexter in training over here. Oh my goodness, everyone's got their weird hobbies, but like murder, come on, dude. Oh jeez.
Mm-hmm.
and
At
it's just
your age, oh
and
no.
this is what I mean. Just the little things that we get from. We know that he's smart. We know he's into weird things. We know he's got his issue with confidence and the bullies. Just the little
Hmm.
character they work. The little character. I mean, the subtle character work they do with Oscar, and he's barely had any lines yet, which is like so great.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
here,
Oscar barely speaks
he
anyways.
barely speaks. Yeah, his
Throughout
performance
the
is
entire
great.
movie. Yeah, it's mostly just his nose like leaking all the time.
Mm-hmm. Just
Oh,
strange
dude.
little dude. I think he's so perfectly casted though, like his expressions and everything. He captures that
Like
innocence.
his acting is great.
He just looks like a kid that would get bullied. Like they just nailed it. And I
Yeah, and
do.
it's like the symbolism of the innocence too is also like interesting because the entire movie there's snow and so a lot of movies well you probably know this but like for symbolism stuff it's white is pure
Mhm.
and when stained red with blood specifically is when innocence is lost.
Mhm.
So this is something like they see in a lot of movies. Just pay attention. I mean, even just random weird like fun movies like Pacific Rim,
Mhm.
they use stuff like this. You know, if you listen to the director's commentary, you know, you listen to stuff like this, and I just find it so interesting
Oh
because the
yeah.
entire film is about like losing your innocence, basically.
When they can incorporate those things in a tasteful way, that's what's fucking like that. It just can make the scene just elevate. It can elevate the scene so much more when they actually incorporate
Hmm.
themes in a proper way. What I don't like is when
Yep.
people take a shitty scene and try to justify that it being good with themes. Like it's just that drives me nuts. Like it needs to be
Oh,
both.
look, the theme is here.
Yeah,
The
it's
theme is here.
ridiculous.
It's
Like
good. It's like, nah, bro,
theme is
it's not
icing.
working.
Theme is icing. You
Hmm.
still need a properly baked cake. You need the structure there. You know
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing. What I like about
Jordan
this,
Peele, come listen to this stream, man. You learn a thing or two.
that's with this scene in particular, I do I like that very quickly you get the sense that they're old friends. They've probably been doing this for years, and they're all very friendly. They
Yep.
know they recognize that he's new, and they immediately their first instinct is like, "Hey, it's him. Let him join us." It's just very quick. We get a sense of their whole dynamic, which makes sense for how sensitive this guy is going forward. Like that guy, he
Yeah.
really takes his friendship seriously. The type of person who's gonna go and try to make friends with a stranger is someone who would be that emotionally attached to a friend who got killed. Like it kind of makes sense, and they do it in tiny scenes. It's so quick.
Yep.
Welcome him
Exactly. It's
over.
like it's good tiny and plus the thing is that you don't really get the impression that they're doing something out of malice, you know? They're just approaching him.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't trying to. They're not trying to bully him. It wasn't anything like that. It was just, hey, who's that guy? He must be new. Let him come over. Yeah, you can come over. It was just very
Hmm.
simple. Like they're the type of people you'd want to run into at a bar. And what I find so
Yeah.
interesting is their kindness is returned with like the complete opposite. Look at that glass of milk right there. That's like 3, 4 sips right there. You take your time with that. This motherfucker gulps that shit and tries to get out of there as quick as possible. Look at that. Look,
Hmm.
just immediately.
Glug glug glug.
Yep, it's out,
Boom.
completely out. So he, as soon as he
It's like
notices that they notice him, he rushes and gets right out of there.
and he never looks at them in the eyes until he gets up to leave.
Does he even look at
Never
them?
even acknowledges them. Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, I think he gave them like a glance. It's like, no,
Oh,
sorry.
he gave
Yeah,
him the
there you go. He
slightest
does.
of glances. You're right.
Slightest glance and then gone. That's like all you need to know about him. Pretty interesting.
And then here, I like the scene with the mom. Gonna watch the show.
Hmm.
Back to the courtyard, and I really feel like he's in a rush to go and try to see her again now. And so watch
Yep.
it on my own. And I really do appreciate character work like this. For like when you have like this is the definition of a side character, but you still feel like she's a full. You get this full sense. She's lonely.
You
She's
feel
trying
like
to piece together.
she's an
weird.
actual person.
Yeah, yeah. Just very simple work with her. Just this line really like hit me.
Hmm.
And
Oh man,
immediately he
you've got
goes
him
to take a look.
like the parallels that they do here, especially in the scene a bit later when she's getting scolded and he's just like there. I really like the cinematography in this movie.
Yeah.
I feel like it complements the movie so well. And I was looking at what other stuff the cinematographer has done. So the cinematographer is Danish, I think. His name is Hoyt van Hoytema,
Good
and
lord.
surprisingly enough, well, unsurprisingly actually, he was the cinematographer for Nope,
Oh,
Her, and basically every Christopher Nolan movie since Interstellar.
what? Wow.
Yeah, man.
That's actually interesting. I want to. You gotta message me that guy's name. I gotta check into his stuff because
Oh yeah, yeah, man. Like I was
um
looking because I looked up the director. The director hasn't basically done jack shit after this.
Mm.
Nothing at all of note. But cinematographer, oh man, he's been working hard. His latest movie was Oppenheimer, man.
Fuck, man. You never know where you're gonna like actually see reoccurring styles. You know, like someone who
Hmm.
he definitely has a good eye for like just everything about this movie is so subtle but like significant. Like you just really like get the impact of every scene. Like even
Yeah, he has a good eye of keeping it to complementary to the story.
yeah, he doesn't go overboard with it. There's one scene, we'll get to it. It's easily the worst. You probably, I guarantee we'll agree on this when we get to it. There's one scene where I'm like, come on, dude. There's just one. So here we go to the Rubik's Cube, and she just pops up again. Creepy. Again, no
Yep.
jacket. What's going on here? Why aren't you cold?
Like, I'm not cold. It's like, yeah, but I'm looking cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
she's really
this,
pale here too.
oh yeah. And I love this face. This is his subtle flirting face, just kind of trolling her. He's loving just any type of attention right now.
Hmm.
The Rubik's Cube.
It's fun because all their interactions, there aren't many. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's the weird thing about the movie. It's like the character interactions with other people themselves are sparse,
Mm-hmm.
but are used so effectively that you're just there like, damn, this is good. And it also amplifies like the theme of loneliness and being
Yep.
alone together.
And the introverts
It's
too, like
so
how
well done.
the awkwardness of their conversations and trying to like, you know, Oscar is just one of the most awkward people you're ever gonna meet, and they just portray it
Oh, for
really, really
sure.
well. And even in scenes where it's like there's not much dialogue between them, just the facial expressions, just every little interaction is like is used to the fullest, I'd say.
Hmm.
And
Completely agree.
even this is one of the things that I think is an example of the subtle things here. Like he passed her the Rubik's cube. That's obviously going to give her him a chance to get a whiff of her. And he says, "What?
Hmm.
She smells funny." And she
Yep.
gives him a face. Not like she's offended or anything like that, but there's a reason behind it. It's the whole the lack of blood and everything. I think that's such a cool thing. The fact that when they haven't fed in a while, they actually start to stink. And that's something like
Hmm.
in terms of playing with the lore that I don't think I've ever seen that in another movie of like what type of effects, what type of withdrawal symptoms do vampires go from? Obviously, like body
Yeah,
odor is
you
one of
you
them.
you
Like when
rarely
do you
see
see that?
stuff like that.
Yeah, I like.
Hmm.
I'll give you an example in terms of for fantasy with elves. You never see elves explore the concept of depression or any of the things that you'd go through if you've lived for hundreds of years, like all the apathy and
True.
like you just be burnt out and just apathetic to pretty much everything. It's just it's I
Hmm.
would like to see that explored with like a race, an immortal race. Like there's different things you can do and just play with these concepts a little bit more. And that's one of the things I really appreciate with this movie.
Dude, don't worry, man. They'll probably explore it in Rings of Power Season
Oh
2.
fuck that show! They're
Yeah.
not gonna explore a damn thing
Beautiful.
except failure. That's all they're exploring. It's crazy. Ugh, don't even get me on that. Now this is another another creepy line. The idea of like, aren't you cold? Like I've forgotten how. Like just these ominous little lines that would just like an adult would probably have second questions, but this little Oscar is just so excited to be talking to a girl that is just not even processing how strange
Dude,
these answers are.
exactly. It's like an adult would probably go and get a blanket or something already,
Something.
but that's the first thing that they do. It's like this kid is just like, yeah, I can be mysterious too.
He's just everything about it. It's just him trying to process. But what I do like about it is once he does have the big picture, he asks direct questions. Like he's not stupid. He was just like,
Hmm.
you're not immediately gonna jump to vampire. I'll give him that.
Hell, I'd jump to like weird thing because I'm like, you're really not cold, but well, she is pale over here because this is the only time that we see her really pale. Because the second time that we see her after she's fed and they meet again, she's actually a bit reddish. You know,
They
she
change
has
the
color
color.
to her skin.
Windowsill. Someone just mentioned we missed something on the windowsill. Let me see real quick. What did we miss?
A window.
Thank
Oh
you
yeah.
to where is he?
True, true.
Perfect tangents in the chat. You're the best. Look at the windowsill.
Yep.
The footprints or whatever, the handprints or whatever. So she's been creeping on him. I didn't even notice that. Nice,
Dude,
nice,
same.
nice,
I was
nice.
just like, oh, cool.
Creepy. And I love that this shot ends with her just like, oh, my stomach. Need some blood.
Yep.
Like she might have like legit bit into this guy, but she seems to have at least some decent control over it. But still, a good shot of it.
Yeah, you can like having a scene like this tells you that she has
Yeah.
control over who she wants to let go of.
At least a
Because
system.
even later down the line, there's like something that happens, with the cut on his hand and stuff like that. She still
Oh
remains
my
composed.
god, yeah, yeah, yeah. Here we are. Here we are. The wait now. This is one of those
Hmm.
scenes where I just immediately think modern horror movies would have had all the stupid music, would have had horns, the insidious bonk. No, they just shut the fuck up, give us some ambient noise. You hear a car. It's just this is how you do creepiness. Just like it's so
Yeah,
simple. It's so And what I like here too is this is such a simple line, but I just believe that this is like I feel like these guys have been doing this for like 40 years, another night of friendship and happiness, the type of guy you
especially if
give
you're
a,
you're you're drunk.
yeah, yeah, a small village. They've probably grown up together. I really get that vibe just from a couple scenes, and they're fucking hammered.
Hmm. Yep.
And Iwamos is
Man, like
well,
even on this scene, the note that I have is just the film's use of silence. I was like, yep,
yes,
you
yes.
just have to take note.
The power of silence, like that's one of my compliments of the first episode of The Walking Dead. I don't think they use a single soundtrack throughout until the very end. Like it's so
Hmm.
just ambient noise. They have the respect for silence is like amazing. Now this guy
I
again.
personally, if
Go
I,
ahead.
if I was in his situation, I would have probably like fucked off. I would have. Oh hell no, man!
And
I've
this is
read too many cryptid stories to even approach anyone under a bridge in the dark.
And this is part of the reason why I think this says a lot about his character. He didn't even hesitate. Someone said help, and he immediately went right to it. That's the type of
Hmm.
person who would get a hug before they went home. You know what I mean? That's not like he's obviously going to be a good person, like from what they saw from the scene with his friend there. And this is a sign
Yep.
of that. Like this is the type of person who you're going to have like a lifelong friendship with, someone who would help instantly without even hesitating. And it's just
Yep.
such a fucking creepy scene. Just
Dude,
inching. You see her
it's
in the
especially
corner.
when like the bus passes over, it really shows you how silent the
Yes,
scene is, and you're
yes,
like, Jesus,
yes.
stands out completely. I mean, it's also bad because this is someone that you can probably feel for. So you know that when she says later down the line, when she says that she kills because she needs to,
Yeah.
it just like amplifies that because you're like, yeah, even good people can fall victim to this,
She
and
did not
you're
want to do
even
this.
remorseful.
She did not want to
Yeah.
do this. It's just one of those things. You understand that you need to feed, but how do you balance that? This is one of the things I find fascinating with vampires, where you eventually will probably get desensitized to the killing just because you have to. Like, no help, please stop all the struggling. Like that might
Hmm.
bother you the first few times, but after 100 years of jacking people for blood, you just it's nothing. You just become immune to
Yep.
it. And I just think that's fascinating to explore the ones that don't let that happen. Now this
Yeah, it's
what
like the ones that want to try and retain their humanity.
Yes, exactly. There's so many different ways you can explore them. And now this is one of the other things where you subtly get the understanding of her in terms of the logistics through other people. Like him saying you don't weigh a thing here is like, oh my god, so
Hmm.
ominous. Right before the jacking happens. Let's see if I can get this in.
Yep.
You ready, chat? Boom.
It's so violent too, man.
And we get the one witness. Oh
Oh yeah,
jeez.
the cat man who's just
The
watching. It's
cat
just like,
man.
damn.
Oh, this guy gets jacked.
Oh man, like it's so bad because you just see her there too for a couple of seconds, and all you hear is like the gulping of the blood. You're like,
Yep.
damn.
Yep. It's crazy. And the choice to have her in a white shirt here just to contrast the with
Hmm.
the snow and everything with the blood, it's perfect.
The red, yep,
And I want to make
exactly.
sure they hear this. And this is just to get a sense of her character as well too, where like she could have left him there. There's probably a lot of vampires at that point will find it, like it's just you get an
Hmm.
opportunity for character with these vampires. Are you gonna just leave them there to suffer, or are you gonna do this? Oh god, you see the feet and the hands. Oh my god.
Dude, they
Oh,
just
that's
show
so bad.
everything because the one person that she leaves alive after killing has a horrible death. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
Jesus.
Oh yeah.
It's like you understand,
I
she
I
and
like
just
how each
the
death
fact
was
of having
different.
her. Yeah, it's like the fact of having her over the body just completely remorseful
Yeah, that's the shot
is
right there.
perfect.
Like
Hmm.
fuck, again I lost control. Again I promised myself I would never do this. Like this is the vibe I'm getting from her right now. It's like damn it. Yep. Put him out of his misery, but then now it's this is her time for pain. It's such a fucked up moment.
Hmm. Oh man, it's like, yeah, this is the scene I was talking about. It's like, yeah, the contrast is so good,
Yes.
and just
Yep.
having her shrouded in darkness as well.
My note for the scene was that her and the Guardian switched hats. Like she was cussing him over the blood, and now he's cussing her over the situation. They both created a situation for each other, and you get an understanding of their dynamic of their relationship because of it. Like the fact that the fact that there's anything that he can cuss her over that she would even take seriously means that this is something that she respects. Like she's not just she knows that she can't just go kill innocent people like that. So what makes me think is that he must have a vetting process for the people that he kills, like maybe like Dexter, how he confirms like that they're guilty type of thing. Because like personally, that's one of the things I would want a character to do, like as a vampire, like make sure that they know that the people that they're killing are actually people that deserve to die, so they can deal with it mentally better. And all the more confusion as to why he's so sloppy, you know? Hello? Hello? You're roboting there. I don't know what's going on. Hello? I am. Yeah, you're roboting. You good, bro? um. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with your mic, but I can't hear you. Yeah, someone help this guy out. He's having sound issues. That was a little better. Help out this cat. Someone help him out. Hello? Yeah, try disconnecting and reconnecting on the Discord. Hopefully you can still hear me so I can kind of try to give you some instruction. Any luck there? Let me see here. Oh shit. Yeah, let me let him back in. Whoops. Send them a link to get back in. Sent the link. Sent the link. There we go.
Yeah. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
yeah, there we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
There we go. All right, we're
Dude.
Yep, you called it. You predicted it. You literally jinxed yourself with that exact same thing
Dude,
earlier.
I,
Yep.
I, I knew it, bro. I
Yep.
knew it,
Yep.
man.
Well, hey, we're this. You can only learn by trying, right? This is, if anyone doesn't know, this is legit like my first like time streaming ever properly, other than just streaming games and fucking around. So we're trying to figure this out as we go. We're trying to talk some vampire. Give us a
Yeah.
break.
Chat. Don't worry, man. Next
We're
time,
good.
I'm a coach him, bro. I'm a
Yeah.
coach him.
We're figuring this all out. Don't blame me. Coach your mic or whatever the heck happened there. And then I lock you out of Discord after you fix it. Oh, jeez.
Dude, Discord disconnected me, and I thought that I could hear you, but you couldn't hear me. So I was just like,
It was
what the fuck?
That's all I was hearing, the bumping. No, where were we? Right, Oscar and the eavesdropping on the argument. And what I
Yeah.
love is that he goes right from roasting her, grabs his fucking winter jacket, and he knows he has to go right out because she left the body. Like,
Yep.
what's she gonna do? This is why he's there. You gotta have a cleaner, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the
It's
cat
like
man.
it's good to know the way that he wants to like help her, because you can tell that he's clearly disappointed in her more than he is completely angry. You know? Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, 1 second.
Okay.
I keep
Dude, I
forgetting.
thought I went
No,
again.
no,
I
don't
was
worry. I
like,
don't
what
get
the fuck?
PTSD from that now. It's just this mic doesn't pick up anything as soon as I step away. It's crazy. Yeah, this the difference in his demeanor versus when she's roasting him, versus when he is roasting her. Like you can actually see. This is the only time he actually gets animated, right? And this
Yep.
poor cat man, what do? You barely leave your house, but you witness a murder. And that's the sense you get from him. Like they even say, like, "Oh my God, it's the first time they've seen him in months" or something. Like he never comes out, but he came out to
Yeah.
tell them what happened. Haven't seen
You
you
know,
all year. Yeah,
little things like this, like, oh, I haven't seen you in a while.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
this is your first time here in a while. It's like, yeah, I believe you because of just the little things that you've established before. So establish the fact that they are regulars of the pub,
Yeah.
basically, and then having this guy who's also an elderly gentleman
Hmm.
who they know like we know that they probably know because it's a small town.
Exactly. You get that small village vibe real easily with these guys. You would
Hmm.
know that they know each other and just like little lines just to set it up. That's all they need.
Yep. And here you can clearly see like the shape of the body in the
Yep.
snow.
Sloppy. Sloppy, sloppy
No,
way.
no one even acknowledges it. It's like the shape is right there. Like I wouldn't touch it to try and get something. I'd say like grab some pictures or something before.
No, no, no. They can see that there's like something uprooted, but I'm pretty sure that the whatever his name is, the Guardian has already gotten the body from there.
Oh yeah, he got the body, but I'm
Hmm.
talking about like in terms of evidence. Like aren't you tampering with a crime scene at this point?
But
Like
they
putting
don't
your
even
DNA
they
everywhere.
they don't really have it confirmed that it's a crime scene. Like they don't even believe him yet until they actually see the blood. And he's just scared. He doesn't even know what the hell he saw. So I can understand him doing this. Like he just wants to, he saw a murder
Yeah,
and he
that
needs to tell
confirmation.
someone. Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Hmm.
Like everything after this, once they know, I like if they knew for sure, I doubt they would go and contaminate it. They'd do something right off the bat.
Yeah,
Then once you see the blood, you know something's up. And this guy, he's got like a freaking sled trying to do this.
in the snow,
In
man.
the
Like
snow.
where?
Oh
Oh,
man.
dude, it's like in the snow.
Yeah. So for me, it's like I wonder if it's like a situation of they moved here and he hasn't established his spots yet, so he has to do things a little bit sloppy. Because this at least shows that he's thorough. But at the same
Hmm.
time, where do you think this is gone forever, dude? Like he just chucks it in there and just shoves it down with the stick. Yep, gone forever. No one will
Yeah,
ever find it.
it's like it's contradictory stuff, man. That's what's really annoying about his character is that his character is
Yes.
so well written in terms of the small
The
stuff,
premise,
but
but then
just
it's broken
other
in other
stuff like this
areas.
is like, yeah.
And I feel
I
like,
mean,
go ahead.
like I was about to say, like it's such a weird way to dispose of the body too, knowing that it's a small town, man.
Yes.
People have already recognized you.
This is why I feel a lot of his scenes, from the first one to this one, could be fixed with context as to why he has to take these risks. Like justify why someone this smart and experienced is taking these type of risks. I think it's one the
Hmm.
biggest nitpick with him of just like, why is this your only option? Like the only thing I have is that they've moved here, so he doesn't have his spots yet. But that's not that's just my headcanon. Like that's the only thing I could think of. But even then, I feel
Yeah.
like he could have thought of something else. He's been doing this for years in my mind, so he should be a master by now. But they portray him like I feel like I
Oh,
can
yeah.
hide a body better than that. Like I watched fucking 8 seasons of Dexter. I'll figure it out. 8 seasons of
Dude, I've
Dexter,
watched
5
Breaking
seasons of
Bad,
Breaking
man.
Bad. Yeah, you could do. But you got those
That's
shows
it.
down. You could definitely fucking hide a body.
Give me some acid, some barrels, and a tub, bro. I'll take care of it.
Polyethylene, okay? I'll never forget that fucking the name of that plastic after Jesse burnt the fucking after he burnt through the bathtub. Oh my god. That's when I was like, all right, I'm all in on this show. You fucking had the balls to show a body burn through the floor. Like, what are they gonna do?
Yeah,
What are they gonna
just have
do?
it come
There's
through in
there's no
slow
going back.
motion
There's
too.
no going back on that show after that. Like it's crazy. I can talk about Breaking Bad all day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
Mr. Guardian. This guy, man, the stress. Mr.
Ah, dude,
Oscar,
he's
and then he
probably having a
finds.
stressful ass day.
Oh yeah, stressful fucking life, man, dealing with this kid.
Oh
And of
man,
course, she just shows off her vampire skills. I've never solved a Rubik's cube in my damn life. Like I've never even come
mm-hmm.
close, and she does it in the night.
Preach, brother.
Yes, vampires. Ugh. see what we got here.
Yeah, vampires. Yeah, they've got time. It's like, oh man, the snow and just yeah, even here, still dressed weirdly for the time of day. It's night. It's cold as fuck.
The
You're wearing
difference
shorts
in
and
her demeanor though too as well, and she's anticipating him this time. And what do you notice? One of the first things she asked him, if I remember correctly, do I smell better now?
hmm
Look at this. Like, this girl was stinking and fucked up. Now she's got her blood. She's fresh as a daisy now. She's ready. She's got her nice turtleneck. It's the first thing she wants to know.
Yep.
Do I smell better now? But it highlights that was a factor, the blood thing, but also that she cares. Like, she remembers that he said that. Like, she actually cares. These things matter to her.
Yeah, you can tell that she's now very caring of Oscar himself and wants to get involved with his life, which is I think it's a bit after. I think it's their next scene where she tells them to like where she tells him to start fighting back from the bullies.
Oh no, not the next scene. That's gonna come up, but I do love that scene as well. The way it's shot and everything, like the close up in the side of her face.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's after he gets struck by
And
the stick.
even this I love because this is such a 12-year-old. Little kids, 8 months, 9 days. They for 13 seconds. Like, they'll remember every little detail. It's like after fucking like 16, 17, you don't even give a fuck after that. But around like 8 to 12, that shit's so valuable to you. And the fact that she's
Oh,
like give or
dude.
take, like the fact that she doesn't know exactly how old she is so off-putting for a 12-year-old. Like, what do you mean give or take? What's wrong with
Mm-hmm.
you?
Dude, cause like they'd never say something like give or take. They'd probably be like, I'm 12 and
Yeah,
a
who would say
half.
that? 12 and a half. I'm 12 and 3/4. I'm this. I just turned, like,
Mm-hmm.
everything, give or take. Like, I don't remember. This is so, and just process. And this is the thing. He doesn't clue in, like, okay, immortal vampire. The first thing his little child brain goes to is like, oh shit, you don't celebrate your birthday? You don't get presents, dude? Like, that's the first thing he's thinking about. Here, have this Rubik's Cube.
Hey man, it's a fair thing to say. It's like you don't get any presents, dog.
But it's
Really?
exposition for her and it's character work for him of terms of like he's just like you don't get present like that's just his mindset. Just here, take this if you like, shirt off my back type of dude.
Yeah, it's like it's good because it tells you a lot about his character
Yeah.
while giving you more about her and intertwining that relationship as well. So it does like three things at once.
Mm. Yeah, that's what you should do. Like a scene that can accomplish many things at once is like the sign of good writing. It's what you want.
Oh
Compared
yeah,
to,
for
and
sure.
that's my biggest issue with I'll give it, like Rings of Power, for example. Like a lot of people could say it's boring. A lot of people could say this is the real issue with it is the inefficiency. Every fucking scene accomplishes one thing at a time, and it's usually
Yep.
something that you could have like interpreted in your own way, or you could have guessed, or you could have left it as a mystery. It's always a waste of space. It's like so inefficient compared to shows that actually accomplish many things in one sitting without even having dialogue. It's just ridiculous. So
No,
with
yeah, it's like it's something that you can compare any like modern Star Wars thing to just compare it to Andor, man. Andor is like
Andor
does
is
three things
an
almost
anomaly.
every scene.
Andor's an absolute
Uh-huh.
anomaly. What the fuck was that? Where'd that come from? I haven't heard
It was
anyone have a
good.
criticism of Andor other than they thought it was boring, and that's meaningless to me in terms of I found it was entertaining. Like we like that's such a it
For me, that's subjective.
it's
Like
completely
if you found it
subjective.
boring,
Yeah,
it's
someone
subjective.
people find golf exciting. I don't give a fuck about golf. I don't even, you know what I mean? But it's their take. It's their thing. Like people find knitting. It's just understanding subjectivity is a part of being like a critic. Like you got to be able to factor
Yep.
that in. Otherwise you're screwed. You get lost in that shit.
hmm
So
But
he's figuring out Morse code so he can. And again, another example of him being intelligent. Like it is another part of the reason why he's so lonely. Like, there's probably not a lot of kids that can relate to have such a hyperactive mind like him.
it's
The
like
things
not
that he's
all the
interested
kids his age at 12 would want to learn Morse code. It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, they probably not be interested. And
Now-
hey, bullies.
in. Here we get the first of one of the strangest bully scenes like ever filmed. For some reason, like this guy is just like the mastermind, and he's got like his associates to come do the work for him, his bidding, and then we get the biggest bitch to ever bitch. Like this guy, like you aren't cut out for this life. You're not built to be a bully.
Mhm.
He's just trying to fit in. Like I almost want to show this how pathetic this is. Like Oscar's just like do your worst. like what the fuck is that? What is
Bro,
this?
he's
And
trying,
he's
bro. He doesn't pay
crying
for
like
effort.
he's hurting himself more in terms of the psychological damage. Oscar's not even feeling that shit. Oscar is like so used to pain and abuse that he does. Look at Oscar. He is
Dude,
numbed out, ready for punches,
Oscar
elbows.
is just chilling, man.
He's
He's
ready for
waiting for
ground
the
and
worst.
pound. Like he hasn't even started
Hmm.
yet. So they tag in the real guy, like the level 2. This guy knows he knows how to get the job done. Asshole number
Yep,
2.
yep,
He goes for the whip and actually smacks his face.
yep.
Looks like he
Man, this dude
enjoys
was
it,
out
and
here
then they
whipping
dip.
him like it was
Yeah.
like the 1800s,
Man,
bro. Like,
I just-
relax, man.
Yeah, you fucking loved it, man. It's the control. It's like the first two guys don't even know why they're bullying him. They're just doing it because they can.
Mhm.
It's the idea of like, he's not gonna take it, so they're just gonna keep getting that out on him, and it's just
Exactly.
you fight back, just like Ellie says. You fight back, and they're never gonna do it again.
And
And
they're
here
just
it is,
annoying ass bullies.
dickheads, and then he has to hide and like lie to his mom, and just more trouble for him. More trouble for the mom.
Yep. It's
They
like
deal with
the
this all the
mom.
time.
I think that maybe she knows that he's getting bullied, but she also tries to sweep that under the rug too. You know.
Yeah, a lot of the things with him, like it's just hard to. He doesn't open up to her, so it's gonna be hard for her to address these things.
And it's also like it's a common trope that you see with when you have a child that's sort of like this in a movie. You always see the parent trying to shift away from instead of embracing the uniqueness of the kid, because sometimes like the kid is just too weird for the parents as
Yeah,
well, and they're just
they
like
try
flat
to
out, you're weird.
treat it as a phase and it'll pass, rather than embracing it as like a legitimate part of their personality. Like it's difficult. This is the scene you were
Hmm.
talking about after the hit, and the way they shoot it, so you get the close up right on their faces and like get just really intimate scene.
Yeah,
And the
the
way she
Sam and
describes it
Frodo
too.
close-ups.
Oh yeah. Some class, and I like that we get these scenes back to back because he lies to his mom and then he's perfectly open with her. Tells her about the
Yep.
classmates, and she's just like, dude, hit back. There's too many of them. Hit back harder.
Hmm.
Harder. There's 3 of them.
Like, hit back.
Fuck them up. Just hit them. That's like, hit them with more force than you dare. Like, she's just like, oh my goodness. She knows what needs to be done and like what he needs to hear.
Ruthless.
Yeah, she's like, it just shows a side to her as well. And if
Yeah,
not,
I
if that
think
doesn't work, then I'll
it's
help
it's
you.
it's the best thing too, because at least she's forcing him to do it himself. She's not trying to come in and save him, or else she could have been like, oh yeah, let's organize something
Exactly.
and I'll
She,
come and help you. It's like, no,
she told him to
you need to
fight
stand
back,
up.
explained the different ways he may have to fight back, and it says if all that doesn't work, then I'll help you, rather than just saying I'll carry
Hmm.
you from the beginning. She wanted him to stand up for himself rather than just doing it. Like she's trying to help. That's what makes
Yeah,
the
and
relationship so interesting.
it's kind of like reflective of the dynamic she has with the caretaker as well, because
Yeah.
it's like, if you want Oscar to become your caretaker eventually, he needs to be able to stand up for himself without you being there.
Yeah, yeah, and she knows that. Like she
Hmm.
knows that she's not always gonna be there to take care of him, and like if they're like she's planting the seeds now, which I find so interesting. And
Yeah.
just the way she says this too is like, I'll help you, I can do it. Like it just, you get the sense that like, oh my god, like what is she actually capable of?
Yep.
It's not a brag or not a show off. It's just a plain up fact. Like if that doesn't work, I'll help you, I can do it. Just the straight up
Like, yep.
confidence in her demeanor is just creepy.
We're gonna fuck him up.
Oh my goodness. Where does he take her here? I forget this part now.
Yeah,
Oh, this is where he
after
goes to show her the
showing her
Morse code.
stuff. Yeah.
And I love this scene. Al, she's just like, the fuck out of her, move. And then she brush. It's the Frenchman's wave. If that's the, there we go.
Dude, she,
There we
she was
go.
like, "Oh, you're in the way." It's
No,
like, what?
He's
You're
looking
in the
too. It's
way.
like, dude, close the fucking door. What are you doing? Get that out. It's the wave and the face, the little squint that she gives him. It's just, that's all you need to know about their relationship. She's definitely the boss. But you
Yeah,
can
it's like,
see that
that's
she's,
it.
you can see him like watching, like he's clearly worried about her still, knowing that this is a
he's
dangerous
like,
relationship.
he's still respectful of her, but
Mhm.
well, he knows that it's sort of a dangerous thing, especially for her. So he's like overprotective in
Yeah.
that sort of way, and it's also reflective after when he tells her to not see him later on.
Yeah, I do appreciate that he waits to say that. He doesn't do it in a controlling manner. Like him saying something here would be like, don't even try. Like you're not in that position. But
Yeah.
I like that he waits and be patient. It just shows that he cares and he's understanding. There's so much
Mhm.
about their relationship. It's just show don't tell. We can just assume the last 40 years with these two.
Yep.
And then the Morse code, the little communication.
Yeah, they're like sweets, candy, and
Oh
stuff
yeah,
like
this
that.
took me back to elementary school. I was like, oh shit, this made me feel old. This made me feel old. I remember that. I remember that. Some kids just suck. They can't even like get the ball around the cone. I remember being
Dude,
so competitive with those things. I'd want to be the fastest, trying to get it quick.
dude, some kids are so unathletic. It's not even
Shocking.
funny. It's like my brother.
Shocking.
What is going on?
You can't
Like,
even catch a ball. Like you can't even like
mhm.
it's yeah. Gym exposes a lot of people. You get the truth when it comes to that stuff.
Dude, gym when I was growing up, it was crazy, man. We
What
had some stuff where like, oh God, you had to run. Jesus, man.
what was it
You
like
know,
in
one
Ghana?
time,
Give me a quick intermission in
oh
terms of the
dude,
school in
like,
Ghana.
dude, the school in Ghana. So I basically went to French school in Ghana,
Mm.
and it was like you had three different sports that you do throughout the year. So every 3 months, basically, every like 2 months and a half, you change sports. And so sometimes what you'd get was chill stuff. So let's say handball. I love handball. I
Hmm.
used to play handball all the time. And then after that, you had one time we had juggling as a sport.
What?
Literally, literally fucking juggling,
Juggling
my brother.
class? What the fuck?
Dude,
What do you even?
juggling class
Oh man.
for 2 hours, bro, in the week. And it's like we started with balls, then after that, those who got better were upgraded to more balls.
Was this
Then
just for like
essentially,
essential skills? Like what was the reasoning for it? It was just a juggling class. I've
dude,
never heard of any of this.
I don't even know, man. I mean, like we could go from juggling one semester to like proper gym the next semester, and then on the last semester they tell us to do like it was basically just track running.
Hmm.
And it was like the teacher would just say, okay, we've passed all like everyone's passed their exams. I'll give you guys bonus grades if you can run the fastest in 5 minutes
Hmm.
nonstop. It's like 5 minutes nonstop, go for a grade. Dude, we were out there running like David Goggins. It was crazy.
Well, that's gonna be like a better fit for most kids than fucking juggling. Like I just feel like it's the essential skills you got to be developing. What the hell am I gonna do with this?
Dude,
Learning how to run, learning how
you'd be
to, you know what I mean?
surprised.
Oh man, that's so
Dude,
strange.
you'd be surprised. Some people were dying in track, man. Like even I almost died on track. And like I'm someone who loves running. Like
Hmm.
I do bicycle all the time. Like
Yeah.
when I was there, well before I moved to France in 2020, I used to do bicycle basically always let's say 2 hours, 2.5 hours a day, you know?
Hmm. But you're conditioned for it though, right?
Oh man, like oh yeah, like I'm in good shape, man. Like
Mm.
I'm chill. I'm not overweight or anything. I'm a lanky motherfucker.
No, I did. I was a personal trainer years ago. So I've always tried to
Mm.
stay in shape. The knowledge is there, but just got to get the routine down. That's all it is. Unlike
Bro,
fucking
for
Oscar
sure.
over here trying to like get those skinny arms pumped up. This shitty ass teacher like isn't even like paying attention. That's one of the things I love when they show the training. He's trying to
Bro's
50%
gonna show like
stronger.
the weight class, man. He's like,
He's
yeah,
try.
man.
He's got some bullies to defeat, man. You gotta pump those guns.
Mm-hmm.
And now another
Yes,
subtle
sir.
detail here that I fucking love: the cat.
Yep.
They don't bring too much attention to it, but you just notice she's chill. She's chill. All the cats are chill, and then they see Oscar and like war, or sorry, Ellie.
Yeah, you see Ellie. Then that's where it's like, nope.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like the only use of CG properly that you see in the film is the cats actually.
Not the later scene. We'll talk about that after.
Oh, yeah.
No, good Christ. Why? Why? There we go. So now another thing. This all the little things. So we're getting the character work with them too, just developing their relationship.
Mhm.
Him trying to show her the things that he's used to, like his favorite candy, and her just trying to bond and being like, he wants to show me this. Let me try it out. I know I can't eat it, but
Yep.
let me give it a try. And then the fucking oh my god, puking
Dude,
her
and it's like
guts out.
as someone who knows vampire lore and stuff, you know that they can't eat normal food. So you're
Yeah.
just there like, I
Hmm.
wonder if they're actually gonna make her eat it and
This is
it'll be normal,
that's why I think
or
it says so
is
much
she
about
gonna like
her.
puke her guts out?
She's like, you know
Yeah.
what? I'll just try it for him. Try, and then like this is the result, just completely fucked. Oh
It's
my
like
god.
it shows how much she appreciates him and how
Hmm.
much she wants to please him, essentially.
And
And the hard candy is not something that came out of nowhere, because the scene before, when they were with the Morse code, they were talking about sweets and candy.
oh, were they?
Yeah, the like he was spelling out sweet, and then after that they were spelling out candy, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay. So they set it up. And I think this scene also like such a strangely important character scene because she's turning around thinking, okay, this guy's probably creeped out. He probably wants nothing to do with me. And then he just
Hmm.
goes and gives her the most awkward fucking hug you'll ever see in your life, just highlighting how strange he is. And but to her, realizing, okay, I can literally like puke up candy in front of this guy and he'll still give me a hug. He's the one. Like he's I
Hmm.
found the right guy. This guy is like the perfect type of simp. It's in our face.
She's
Oscar.
just like, what the fuck is
It's
this, you know?
like I literally have puke breath. Do you like me? Like really? Okay.
Hmm.
If even if I wasn't a girl, like she's just prepping him. She's prepping him. Smell that puke breath.
Like,
And I love
yep,
this is one of my favorite scenes in terms of her acting. Like the fact that he's like, "Why are you asking?" And she doesn't answer. It's just
yep.
her eyes, man. Her eyes in this scene.
It
Years.
just
You
it
could it
just
just
tells
feels
you
the
a
weight.
lot, because yeah, it's like she's looking at someone who she can finally like deeply appreciate and have next to her, and just having, someone like her caretaker before. It's like the caretaker, the relationship that they have, and maybe the only reason why she has one caretaker is because he's probably been the only person that
Yep.
she can connect with the past like 40, 50 years,
Hundred
you know?
percent. This isn't the type of thing you could have multiple of. This is a very delicate relationship, and I think she knows this. That's why she treats it the way she does, like taking it real slow with
Hmm.
him and like vetting him in this way. Like, you do you like me? Even if I'm not a girl, just testing him, testing him, testing him, and then just the expression here. I just love the fact that she doesn't answer it. Just it's just perfect, perfect. Just good choices all the way
Yep.
around. Here we
And the
go.
direct transition to,
Yep,
to Oscar being the
Papa.
happiest he's ever been, man.
Whee! This guy's just jamming with his dad. You get to, it's just straight contrast just to see the different like aspects of his life, and the difference
Hmm.
that he has with the way he can express himself with his dad, and his dad just seems so carefree compared to like the mom who's just always stressing him. You just get both
Yeah,
sides of his life.
it's great, because like, I mean, me, for my notes, this scene, I just wrote Oscar isn't miserable. That's it.
Exactly for once, Oscar, like you actually see the expression. You can see like some expressions on his face and like just the whole vibe. You see the difference dynamic here. And then
Hmm.
we get the Guardian back out for round two, setting up the kit. We're like, all right, what you up to now,
Yeah,
buddy?
the cool kid. All the
Yep.
cool kids have this weird kit. It can be yours today. Purchase now for 9.99.
He's got it all set up. Walmart. There's people who know my face. This guy, this is what I mean. Like, he's so fucking committed. Yeah, he still makes the sloppy decisions that he does, which is so strange. You're gonna burn your face off to erase evidence, but you're still doing these sloppy things.
Dude,
And
it's the stupidest thing too, because I didn't even catch that he was like, because I caught the he was telling them like, yo, um, people know my face, so I may like it may be riskier, but I didn't think that that was why he brought the acid along. Because at this point, you don't really know that it's acid. You just think that it's some like a liquid substance. I
yeah, you don't
personally
even
thought
know.
that it was like pee or something. I was like, what is this?
Gotta get my pee jar just in case.
Dude, I'm serious. I
Can't go
legit thought
hunting
it
without
was
my pee
pee.
jar.
I was like, what the fuck is? Yeah, because in my mind, I was thinking about, I think it's like Jurassic Park 3, where he's like, oh yeah, I used Tyrannosaurus Rex pee and
Oh
stuff like
yeah,
that. So I was like,
this is how he tracks his
Does
victims. Vampire
yeah,
pee.
I was like,
That's his secret.
does Vampire Pee do something weird? Or what is this bullshit?
I love that they explored the lore, but I don't need to know about vampire pee. I'm glad they left it at that. Like the potency of Ellie's urine. Like we don't need that. No, I love that he shows that he's willing to burn his fucking face off, or at least that's what he's hinting at. We find out after, and then he mentions, "Hey, can you not see
Hmm.
that boy tonight?" And just his demeanor, man, like, oh,
Yep.
it's creepy. And Ellie like feels so cold of just knowing like this is it, like this is kind of coming to an end. And just
Yep.
like the gesture she gives him where she touches his face, I think. Where is it? Yeah, here. Of just like this is the last time I'll see it probably.
Yeah, because like you know that if he's doing these precautions and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
you know how like how sloppy he was the first time,
Mm-hmm.
you know that there's probably not gonna be a lot of time left before, and he just seeing her hang out with the kid too
Yeah.
knows that she's probably like finding someone to replace him. He also knows that he's
Yes.
old at this
It's
point.
you know what? It's an understanding of the cycle. So I do feel like Ellie cares about him, but she understands that she has to let him go. So that's why she's not as emotionally attached to him. And it's just the next phase of the cycle. Like he knows that this is coming to an end. And you know what? It kind of makes sense just for headcanon purposes. Maybe this is
Yep.
part of the reason he's starting to get sloppy. Like I could see him, he was a master at this, and now he's starting to slip. And
Yeah,
like just
that's
one line,
that's
just
what we
give me
were saying
one line
first.
of him like slipping up and like maybe he's getting sloppy now. I'd love to like have that be a definitive part of his character so we can understand. Because
I
like,
mean, maybe like they want to do the show don't tell part and
mhm.
have it come through acting. Maybe the fact that like he's depressed or he doesn't want to do it again. But I don't think that it comes through in the acting if that was what they wanted to do.
Mm, it's it's just a hard thing to say with this guy. Like even his choice to like, why are we targeting kids? Why here? Like
Yeah,
you all you
true.
need is blood. Why choose victims? Like this, I just want context for this guy's decisions because everything else is so well written with him. Why
That is
we just
true.
need blood? Why risk this? You know, why do it
Also,
at the
why the fuck are
school?
you looking through the window like
Yes,
a meter away from the
Michael
window as if
Myers.
no one's gonna see you?
Michael Myers. Like, there's no need for that. And this, I almost felt was just like, okay, too much. Why would you have the jar
Yep.
open already, ready to spill? Like, they fucked up a lot of things with this guy. It's like, why? He's such a strange
Hmm.
character in terms of like, on one hand it's perfect, on one hand it's completely contradictive. It's so strange.
And it's also stupid of his victim choice too. It's like you were clearly shown staking out which guy you want to choose, but you pick a dude that's in a pack with like
Yeah,
their three friends together. It's like why don't you single out an individual? Do you want to get caught?
stake it out, buddy. Like, I don't know. It's strange. It's his decisions, and then he just gets completely fucked. Where's your plan B? Where's your plan B? So in my mind, like just from what we have, I wish someone like who's read the book can confirm this. It has to be something with him slipping now, like whether it's dementia or whether it meant like this doesn't make sense. Like he has to be slipping in some way. That's the only thing that fits together for him to have these type of mistakes, and that would explain
Yep.
why Ellie has to is working on a replacement. So his friends are
And why
determined to
she
get
even
him.
like acknowledges the fact of like, caressing his face and knowing that
Hmm.
maybe it might be the last time
Yes.
because she knows that he'll probably won't last long, especially since he took the jar of acid with him.
Yeah, she knows. And what I like about this part with the friends, not only were they willing to wait for their friend, but just like the old guys at the bar, the friendship and loyalty in this village or this town or whatever is clearly a big factor. Everybody sticks together. They're not going to
Hmm.
leave their friend behind. And when they hear that he's yelling for help, they immediately come and break the door open. This fucking
Yep.
moron drops the acid, fucks up all his like all this guy's done is fuck up. You are so screwed now, dude. And I love this shot. I
Hmm.
love this shot because you just get like you get the loyalty of the friends trying to help there. You get the panic of this guy, and you get this guy just knowing that it's all over. Like he's just fucked. What do you do?
Yeah, like it's the ultimate thing that he has to do is just pour the acid. Like I honestly thought that he was going away to drink the acid to just kill
Kill himself.
himself
That's what
like
I thought
that.
too. I thought it was suicide, but like it's
Hmm.
just so oof.
It's
And
so weird that he just pours it on his face. You're like,
nope,
damn.
not even that. He says like almost like for Ellie. I think yeah, he says Ellie. And
Yeah,
now
really.
this is all I'm thinking of. Like, can you not imagine Oscar 60 years from now being in a scenario like this, like doing something
Oh, for
fucked up
sure.
and saying for Ellie? Like 60 years of that would really get like I can totally see that. This is
Well,
why.
because like it's the way that Ellie also knew who he was from the first time approaching him. Because the first time she approaches him, he has the knife in his hand, so he has the intent to kill or the capability of killing. And then after when knows that he what's it called like he stood up to all the bullies, she has the confirmation that he can kill.
Yep,
And then
test him.
after that's why she tells him she's like oh you want to kill but I have to, you know.
Yes, yes, yes. Just understanding the difference. Like you really need to
Yeah.
understand this. Like this is a necessity.
And like take it to let's say 10 years later, if Oscar is now her caretaker, it's like yeah, he wants to kill and now he has a reason to kill, so you're
Yes,
basically just
he,
feeding into this
he
guy.
already has that urge, and it's something he needs to be able to be desensitized to it. Like you can't really feel a way about killing if you're gonna do this with me. And if you already feel that, like
Hmm.
that's part. Honestly, him saying "school piggy" and all that, that was probably made him a prime suspect. You're right.
Yep.
And here we get the shot of her waiting for more Morse code. this this kills me here because just like you fucking dickhead, you got this kid here with the shittiest form, no posture, no positioning. You're not even spotting him.
Nothing, man.
Just nothing. I don't even like. It's just everyone in Oscar's life is just neglective or like a dickhead or just like not a proper fit.
Bro was just trying to lift, man.
He's
He was
trying
like,
to get
nope.
yoked, and you can't even help the man out with some form. Like, come on, dude. And then he has to go from that to like piss pants. Poor dude.
Yep. Man. And so he walks home just
The-
like that.
The
It's like,
shot of his disgruntled face right into the fucking pants. Poor guy.
mhm.
Oscar's life. And then we get the exposition here, the self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah, about
And she knows there at the
about the caretaker. Yeah.
hmm And she slips in. So I love this because she's just the like the picture of innocence here. This sweet little girl asking for her papa and slickly
Mhm.
doesn't mention his name, but gets the information that she needs without revealing too much. And just only natural, like the waitress or sorry the customer service rep just feels bad. Like this poor little kid has no has no shoes on or anything, so she comes out after her. And I just think it's such
Yeah,
a good shot that they do this.
it's just a natural thing to do too, and you can just it also just having this shot here, it puts into perspective the height and the abilities
Yes.
of of Ellie too, because at this point we're not really given a specific about her power levels or
Yeah,
what she's capable of.
Exactly. You get tiny little snippets of it. And one of the big ones was when the guy picked when Locke or Jack picked her up. He's like, "Oh, you don't weigh anything." Like her being super light is a factor, and her being the foot on the windowsill. Like they're very they keep it suspenseful. They keep like the mystique. They don't just tell you straight up
Yep.
how she works, but they don't contradict anything anyway. So we get an idea of her skill set without fully understanding it. And even this,
Yeah,
I
and
like shots.
you
like,
never see anything.
yeah, yes, show don't tell. Like
Yep.
just hide it. Like Jaws, we barely see that fucker. Like it's part of the reason that movie's so effective. You don't always have to see everything, you know. And I love shots like this where they just have confidence in terms of where your focus is gonna be. Because Ellie's in the shot. She's in the shot the whole time, but you're focused
Oh,
on
yeah.
the lady coming out. You don't even notice that she's there. And then you get the
Yeah,
creepy
the
crawl.
fucking thing just stuck on the wall.
And then the
You're
creepy
like, what
crawl to the
fuck?
top. It's like it's so well done. I just love that. And the distance makes it work perfectly. You know, you don't need to see exactly, but we just know she's light as hell and she can get away with these things.
Yeah,
And
and at this point, it's like only the third floor that you see her climb up to, so you can be like, oh yeah, so she can go up to the seventh easily.
oh yeah, no problem. Just flew it, just gracefully got her way up there. And I love her face here. How she's not overreacting. She just kind of knows this is it. This is a job to be done. And he immediately this duty. Like it's Ellie. He doesn't care how sore he is, how fucked up he is. It's Ellie. He's gonna immediately get up. Like duty calls, and that's what you
Yep.
mainly get from this guy. Such consistent. That part of his character is super consistent. We can appreciate.
Yep.
And this is the first part of the invitation lore that they play with. Saying, and
Yep.
I like that they say this here because there's no need for her to say that. Obviously, he would let her in, but keeping that in mind to say to let me in, and that he can't physically do it. So it makes sense because he would have let her in right away knowingly. And that's the only reason we get that exposition, because it's the type of exposition that would be clunky between them. He knows that, but the fact that he hasn't done it right away compels her to say it, and then he can't actually speak. So it's like very, very, very subtle way to do the exposition smoothly, where there would be no normally reason for her to say that, but it just works. So they set up the rule of having to be invited, which I like.
I totally agree with you, man. I think that it could have still worked if they didn't acknowledge it now and they did it later on. But I just don't think they would have had that same impact.
And the way
You
they
know.
do it here is like you get the information without really realizing you're getting the information. Like it could, you don't even really think about it in the moment because you're considering his face and whatnot. But the fact that he can't speak is the reason why he didn't say it right away, and he normally would have. So it just all fits so smoothly, and he just immediately commits to it. Going
Yeah,
out.
he just immediately opens it. He's like, "Yep, this is what I
Pull the
look like
plug.
now. It looks like Two-Face."
And I think this is so, like, such a powerful scene in terms of they've probably been together for decades. Yet when the moment comes, she knows that she can't be attached. She bites him and then just chucks him away. Just completely
Yep.
like, I need to play this one. This one was fucking just gruesome.
Dude, I didn't expect it to be this gruesome. I was like, yo. Dude, the fall is perfect.
Yeah, I have to play the fall. We get the blood.
Man, I didn't even think that it was a dummy when they had it fall. I was like, yo,
It
just looks
the way
so
they do it.
good.
And it's just tossing. Like, just considering he's probably been with her for decades, but when the time comes, you're trash, throwing you out like an apple, dude.
Yep.
Done.
Oh.
Like, holy shit. Like, after all these years, that's how you go out. Holy
It was a
shit.
pleasure, and then boom, that's it.
Oh man, done. Bye.
That's all, folks.
And now just highlighting
I mean,
this guy's
also like
stress.
the symbolism of having him have that like two-faced look of having exactly half of it burnt
Yep.
instead of the entire face. It's like he was a double-sided like person.
Yeah, yeah.
So
This is his whole life. Yeah, there's definitely some
Yeah.
symbolism in that. Just seeing there's two sides of his fucking life that he had to do, and this darkness that he had to go to take care of this freaking vampire. There's so much that you can interpret with those two. It's just creepy, man. And in this
Yep.
guy, you can see that he's being
Uh,
woken up in the night. He's still traumatized, and the wife obviously is trying to move on from it. But I just think they set up in the tiny bit of scenes. They set up everything we needed for this guy to be very invested in his friend. Very simple.
Yeah, Lackey, I think is his
Lack,
name.
Lack or Lackey? I can't remember the pronunciation.
Lack.
Lack.
Yeah, Swedish names,
Is
man.
it? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, we can do that shit.
And here we go. We get the emphasis on it. You say I have to come in. Oscar is like half awake. He's not even processing this as a rule. He's just like, yeah, whatever. Come in, come in.
Yeah, he probably thinks that this is a dream at this
Yeah.
point because he's just like, yo, what are you
Zoned
doing? Oh, ooh. And she also says, don't look at me too, a lot of times.
Mm-hmm. Because she's all bloodied up at this point too. And I love how he asks, and she just straight up says, I flew. Because of course, like, what is he gonna do, right? Freezing his back.
Mm-hmm.
Cold as shit.
Yep.
There was a scene apparently cut from here that set up, like, apparently there was like a game that he played earlier that set up this game with her. There's a reason she did this. I can't remember the exact details with it, but the bloody face is why she doesn't get him to turn around.
Yep.
And
I mean,
just the facial expression. This kid, man, I don't know, she just nailed it. Just you can see her just debating, how much do I reveal to this guy? How much can he handle? Is he gonna just leave me right away if I. And Oscar clearly reveals his hand with the girlfriend comment, and she's just straight up, I'm not a girl. Like, it's
like,
such
I'm not a girl.
It's
like,
how do you approach this?
Okay.
How do you approach this subject? It's so tricky, and just clearly seeing that the pure innocence. He just wants to fucking hold hands, man. Like, it's very simple. So when she sees that it's not anything complicated, she agrees. Like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah, especially the fact that she asked specifically is like, will me saying that I want to be your girlfriend change anything explicitly in our relationship?
Yeah, is there any dynamic?
She's clear. She asked him like 3 times.
Because this is the thing that she needs to be really clear on. Like, this dynamic is important to me. Like, these feelings that you have, are they going to change that, or can we keep this the way it is? All right, maybe I'll give this a try. So she's just trying, Let's see here. And I also think, like, you would never see this with Disney. Like, even just that shoulder, like, showing that much is just nuts.
Dude, I mean, just like showing this, because as I said before, like as we both said before, it's like these kids don't act like kids at all.
No. This is such a bizarre performance in terms of this. Like, this is not like yeah. This is one of the things that would only work.
Also knowing the sensual aspect of vampirism being explored like this.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's just unsettling.
You can't remove the sexual aspect for vampires just because the intimacy is required, man. Like, it just is.
Yep.
And I love this shot, just seeing the distance of, like, how the fuck? How did she get over here?
She flew.
And it's just so subtle. You don't need to highlight it much, just the look. You don't need them to say anything. Just very simple. And then the
like, it's confusion mixed with like understanding. It's like he's trying to piece the puzzles together,
putting it all together. Like, this can't be real. This doesn't make any sense. And this one part that confused me of like it's like I must leave or I'll stay and die. Like I must be gone. I'm assuming it's like a strange interpretation in terms of the subtitles. I'm assuming that says I must leave and live or stay and die type of thing. So
Yep.
I thought she was leaving, but then she comes back. So I'm kind of confused on this part in terms of what she meant
Yeah,
here.
me too. I think that maybe
Is she talking in
it's just
general
the
or right
fact.
now?
Like I don't know, because I feel like it's in general, because now that she doesn't have a caretaker or anything like that, but that would contradict the fact of her maybe trying to connect to him to be the next caretaker too. It's a bit weird. I do think that they probably just use it as setup for the payoff of her coming back eventually later on. So you're just like, oh, maybe she abandoned him at this point, and the fact of having her come back later, it's just to make like that scene be a bit more amplified, have more emotional value.
You think she was tempting him, like prepping the idea in his head that like I have to go, I have to go, I have to go, until to the point where like, trying to basically get her to want to go with her, like just putting that in her head constantly,
Maybe,
putting that in his
yeah,
head.
because it could work. Because like right now, so the scenes that we get right now are him standing up for himself
Mm-hmm.
completely.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely this
maybe it
scene.
was a way to push him to do something like that,
Yeah, I
I'm
feel like there
guessing.
was a reason for it. You know, maybe we'll figure it out as we go because there was a that was the one thing I was like, I can't, I don't really have an answer for that one, but maybe we'll figure it out as we go. You
Yeah,
know
same.
what's
Even me in my notes,
I
that's it too.
I really I do like this teacher, like the few scenes we get with him, because he just seems like one of those the good teachers that are really motivated, and these students don't give a fuck. No one's even listening to his instructions. Like the quick scenes we got with him just really took me back to elementary school. Like those motivated teachers, everybody listen up, this. Nobody's fucking listening to them. Just completely
Dude,
ignored.
and it's like as someone who grew up in Ghana, bro, and like who didn't grow up with snow and all of that, this was
Hmm.
so weird seeing like the entire class just going ice skating. It's like,
Dude,
okay,
I
this is cool.
I am Canadian. I grew up in Toronto. Freezing your dick off every fucking winter. It's so cold. I don't know what we're doing here. It's just like you can't. And it's yeah.
Oh
I've been here my
man.
whole life, and I'm still not used to it. And yeah, it would get freeze up like this, or you can go and skate on it. Legit, like frozen lakes, frozen like it gets. You so you wait. Have you've never had a snowball fight then?
I have, because I moved here in 2020, but the thing is that where I live,
Mm-hmm.
I live in the south, so we don't have fucking snow. We just have
Yeah.
sun and a bit cold.
Uh,
But my dad works at my dad's like a professional chef at a ski resort.
mm.
So whenever I go and see him there, like
Okay.
it's in the mountains. It's a ski resort, so there's
Okay.
snow
Okay. And you
all
can
the
get snow
time.
with
Yeah,
that. It's not just like
yeah.
literally here. It could be bright sunny Monday and then blizzard on Wednesday. Like literally like inches and inches of snow. And then by
Oh,
Sunday it's
dude,
like all dried
no.
up and it's good again. It's so fucked up. It
No,
yeah.
no. Here, this it snows like once every, let's say, what, 3 or 4 years, and the snow doesn't even hold till like for 2 hours.
Okay, so you've
It'll
never
just
been
like
stuck in
just a
traffic in a
little bit.
blizzard. You don't know the
Oh
trauma
no.
of like you don't even have traction on your tires. You're slipping all over. It's the fucking worst. Don't even get me
Dude,
started.
if it's snowing, I'm never driving my car. Never. I fear the snow. Dude,
I
I'm an
got
African man, bro. I
I
grew up in
was
the sun.
I was on a red light on like a 40-degree angle, and like it turned green and I couldn't go. I'm like pumping my fucking like my gas, and like because there's ice underneath, I'm just stuck. I'm watching cars who have winter tires go around me because they can, and I can't
Oh
fucking move. You're
God.
just stuck. It's the worst thing. Don't even get me started on that. Let me keep this going. So we have the school outing here with all the kids, and Oscar
Yep.
finds a whoop ass stick, the same stick that
Hmm.
the Guardian used to plug that guy under the ice. Just chucked him under there. And I find it so
Yep.
funny that like the stick that he chose to use, the random object that Oscar picks up to exact his revenge or protect himself, he doesn't even know is like was like involved in like a murder. You know what I mean? It's just so creepy to think that it was involved with that, and that's what he picks up. But it
Oh, yep.
and we get classic bullies finally confronted, and this poor teacher just like just goes from a chill day to like two disasters happen at the exact same time.
Yeah, because like coincidentally, you have the guys going for a piss, and then
Hmm.
they find the body of the one that the caretaker threw into the lake.
Yep.
And then see, on the other hand, you just have the bully Connie that's screaming
Yep.
because it's like, oh
It's like,
my
what a
ear.
headache. Just like, oh man, so much paperwork. Have to do all this. These
Hmm.
kids.
I mean, hey, he could have stopped them. He was clearly looking at them. He was like, oh, some stuff is about to
Yeah,
happen,
yeah.
but he just watched them.
Yeah, it's actually surprising that he didn't stop over, just knowing he should know those kids. But like, maybe you know what?
God, dude.
Maybe there's some like internal monologue that we're missing with that character of like, okay, he's trying to give Oscar a chance to stick up for himself, but then it all happened too
I
quick.
actually think that's it.
That I
I
like,
actually
you
think
have to
that's it.
headcanon some of these things because I feel like he knows enough about Oscar and especially like Oscar's new goals with the training. Like, give him a moment, you know. But he wasn't expecting
Hmm.
him to smack him in the ear with a stick. Like, what do you do?
Dude, I mean, hey, Oscar, I do the same shit,
Yep.
man. I ain't
And then
even gonna lie.
Oscar just gets cold and just look at him. He's just like, I've been waiting for this. I've been fantasizing.
Hmm.
Hold on.
Boom.
Let me try to play. Oh, jeez.
Bro got whipped.
Give some volume for
Boom.
this one. Just give him a smack. Smack! This guy got fucking de-eared, man. Holy. Look at that. Crushed. But that's what you
Hmm.
gotta do. Just, and the face, yeah, he's like hard as a rock right now. Finally got his revenge. Finally.
Yeah, and it's also like something that they contrast between him and Ellie. It's his nose is always leaking.
Is
So I
it?
don't know if that's like, yeah, man. I don't know if you've realized this, man, but his nose is always leaking, man. Like he's always shown as consistently cold.
That's probably one of the
Y-
things they
y-
factored in to show that she's not cold. She's not shivering. She's not like, yeah, and
Yep.
just we get an idea of the temperature constantly through him, and then her demeanor is completely
Yep.
differently. You know, I do like that.
Exactly.
Oh, this guy got jacked. You know that hurt too, like all that impact right on the air. And then
Oh
we
man,
see
like
the
I wasn't even expecting it to have that much blood on the ear too. I thought that he just got like a mini whoop, and
no,
then
the
after I saw the ear, I was like,
ears are
damn.
sensitive, man. Like one quick smack, like yeah, you got him good. I'm assuming that's like a metal pole or something. And you all the
Hmm.
onlookers, the students probably getting traumatized. They're gonna stick around and watch this, of course. Yep.
It's like, yeah, man, counseling. We've got to extend counseling for next week too. It's like, okay, yep, students were traumatized again.
And it just shows like the scene is such a strange family scene. Like the mother's panicking, so upset. Oscar's completely ignoring her,
Hmm.
and the father is just like totally not in a position to discipline this kid. So it's just like, yeah, it's the family dynamic between these three is so flawed. Like she's looking at him like he's about to get scolded, but then nothing even happens.
Yeah, especially like when you hear what the father and him say on the phone, they're
I
just
know
like,
it's
"Oh,
so
you're back
quick.
working? Is this work? Like, oh, how is everything? Everything's good. Okay." Like,
Just
no one's addressing the situation at hand. The mother tries to, but she
just
fails.
put the kid in the hospital. Like holy shit, man. It's so strange. This guy is
Oh,
still
he's out
pumping
here
those
lifting,
guns,
man.
getting jacked.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Dude, you can't spell strength without tren. Where is it, man?
This guy, this fucking guy, this fucking guy is a traitor. He tries to befriend him on this side here. He's like, oh, so you ended up
Yeah.
going swimming anyway, because that's what they were saying like earlier before he got hit. He's like, oh, only kidding.
Yeah, on the when they were ice skating.
And why I hate this is because I actually believed him for a second. Like maybe he wanted to be friends, but no, he's just being a dick. And you
Well,
find out that
same
Ellie is
because
watching.
yeah, and it's weird because like you get the sense that these guys aren't really 100% convinced into what they're doing. So at this point, whenever the bully just comes up and is like, "Oh man, maybe let's be friends after you took down the main bully who was oppressing both of us," you
Yeah,
know?
maybe he was
It's
waiting for
like
that for
it could
years.
work.
There's
Yeah.
an arc there, but I almost feel like that's a missed opportunity of like making him go back on this kindness. Because why not like have one of them? It's strange. It's a strange choice. It would have been interesting to see what they did with that dynamic. But I do like
Well, I
seeing
mean, Ellie.
yeah, like you said, maybe it was a test. Like she's been watching him this whole time. You know what?
Hmm.
Maybe she was because when Ellie, I do recall when Oscar describes like, "Oh, I got my revenge," and he's telling her, she doesn't even really have a reaction, and the
Yeah.
only so she probably already saw it. That's the only reason I could think
Hmm.
that. Yes,
Then
you know
after that,
what? Now
it
you
has
know
to
what?
be
The fact
the
that she came
factor
back
of
right now, I think that's what it was. She was testing him. I think you're
uh huh.
right.
Yeah, it's like it's also the weird factor of how like how the fuck does she walk around during the day too, you know?
It's not something that they highlight, but I do see we only see her in the shadows, and I would rather only see them in the shadows than do the fucking makeup thing from Blade. Like that's pushing it. You know what I mean? Like I think the makeup thing should work for like seconds at a time. It should stop you from getting immediately killed. I don't like the
It's
idea
like,
of it
yeah,
being like a
man.
solution because you can
SPF
innovate on that. That's what I'm
5000.
saying. Like they would spend 500 years perfecting the greatest makeup, so vampires never have to worry about that. It's just it's a flaw in the movie. They shouldn't have to. I'd rather just stock the shadows. Oh yeah, this part. Gotta play this. Gotta play this. Beautiful work on the eyes here. Just showing. They don't have to bring too much attention to it, but they just the subtle way they do this is so great.
Like it comes in at the last
Yeah,
second
the
too.
very last
Just
second, you see the
before.
pupils.
Yep.
You see
Just
the
see it.
reflection, and this is one of the this is one of the things that I feel like was the inspiration from Cats. Oddly enough, there's me and you there. The reflection of the eyes, and if you notice when she drinks the blood off the ground and when she's sleeping, she almost sounds like she's purring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a strange thing. So they got this part here.
It's true, yeah. I
Yep.
mean, reflective of the cats that we see throughout
Look at
the
that.
entire film.
Yep.
Man,
Oh,
look
I
at
didn't
the
even
eyes.
when as I said that, I didn't even think of all the cats throughout the movie. Yeah, this is why we do breakdowns, people. Shit like this. This is why.
Man, look at
Oh.
those, like, yeah, cat-like eyes too, as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Look at the pupils and the fact that you see them turn back here. I love this part. Watch them here. Slink right back.
Slowly, yep.
Just perfect.
Oh.
Don't need to highlight it.
Dude,
Just take your
It
time.
really scared me, like, weirdly enough, when I was watching it. I was like, yo, what the fuck? And then after that, I was like, yo. And then, yup.
No, yeah, it's something you I it's not that the person in chat, it's not that you don't notice it. It's just I appreciate how subtle they did it. It's not like they had it there for 30 seconds like showing them off. It's just a quick moment of being able to absorb it. It just feels natural
Yeah,
instead of showed off.
they are in the darkness for a while, and it's only what at the tail end of that darkness that they actually make her
Yes.
eyes appear.
I feel like
It's a good touch.
yes, I feel like we saw it rather than they showed it off. You know what I mean? We got a quick glimpse of it, just properly done. I like that.
Well, just contrast that with the her climbing the hospital. Same thing.
Just take your time with
You're-
it. We don't have
you're-
to see everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And yep, this is the part. This guy's
Oh, yeah, this is the
falling
knife
in
scene.
love. He's falling. You know what? You know what? He's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. He's building up the courage right now. And I do like this knife keeps coming back. Like he said, this knife from the first scene. It's that part of the movie. Like it is a strange object, reoccurring object. And he's
I
thinking
mean,
about
hey,
it. He's
maybe in
thinking about it.
in a sequel, they can probably explore that this is the knife that he uses to kill the people that he feeds her. You know?
Yeah. If they ever do a sequel to this, yeah, they have to bring the knife back. That actually does. That's a good call right there. And oh man, this guy doesn't even know what door he just opened. He's just chilling. He's so innocent. He's like, hey, have some blood. All you gotta do is prick it.
Dude
It
is
won't
just
hurt.
casually sharing hepatitis. He's
Don't
like,
worry,
"Yeah,
man. It's
yeah."
cool. And her face of like, seriously, what are you doing?
It's the fact that you hear the dripping get louder and louder.
And you just, you know, this is something that's gonna bring her great shame. But the fact she's displayed self-control several times throughout the story. So just the fact that she can't control herself in this moment is such a powerful thing. Like she just loses it, and you also get to see
Well,
the
it's
glimpse of
also
her.
like it's also in larger context the fact that she doesn't have a caretaker anymore,
Yes.
and he's providing essentially.
Yes, and it's just this openness, like this right here, this screenshot. This is the face of innocence right here. Like, come on, just join blood. He doesn't even understand this is a 500-year-old monster that's gonna fuck. Like, oh man, you don't even know Oscar. And we get the shot.
Yeah, man, just running to the ground. Oof.
Sprinting.
Yep, licking it up. And yeah, so this is the part where you'll see a flash of her as an old woman.
I didn't know
This is the
what
first
that
time.
was. Like at first, I was like, "What the?"
Dude, it legit scared me because I was like, "Whoa!" I thought that was an issue with my like my version of the movie or something. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Yeah, you can
See.
tell that this isn't her.
Really?
Oof. Even her demeanor is
Yeah.
more aggressive and everything.
Yep.
Oof.
It's so weird.
It's so strange how they do it.
I
and it
mean,
just fucks with
you've
him.
seen the movie like for a while. Like you've seen it. It was my first time watching it like just before the stream,
Hmm.
and you said that you just caught this today.
Oh, the fact that it was like a glimpse into her older self. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like my times watching it before, I felt like this was like her like letting the mask slip a little bit and becoming a little bit more animalistic and demonic. That's what she looks like when she's feeding. It's like you know how the
Mm-hmm.
fangs come out. They can look really human or they can look super like animalistic like vampires. But on the second shot that they show, I noticed the wrinkly skin. So I
Yep.
didn't really take in that it was an older like a glimpse into what she would really look like until this time around. I think.
So like that's the thing is like, do you think that this was made specifically for, let's say, maybe like whose perspective do you think that that thing is made for, seeing her as old? So do you think that it's the director trying to communicate her age to us, the audience? Do you think that it's Oscar's perspective of what he sees when she goes like that feral, or do you think that it's her, like it's coming from her perspective where she sees herself as that
That's what I
whenever she
think it is.
becomes
I think
feral?
the reason they cut it so jarringly because if you notice, her hair is like pulled out to the side like an afro, and then they cut back to her, and her hair is closed in. I was
Mm-hmm. Yep.
off-putting to me at first, thinking it was a direct cut, but no. If that is her interpretation of what she looks like to him while she's doing that, and then we cut to his interpretation of what she is still Ellie. You're
Yep.
drinking blood on the ground, but to me you're still Ellie. But to her, she's showing him the monster within. So I think it's like her representation of how she feels, of what she feels,
Mm-hmm.
and to add to that, look at what she's doing. She's shamed. She's like running away. Like she just fucking dips to
Yeah.
this tree immediately. Like
Runs away,
I
climbs the
love the way
tree.
they do it too. It's just such a like
Yeah.
fucking scatter. Like oh my goodness.
You can tell that they had someone stay at the end of the tree that
Mm.
wasn't her, and then
Yeah,
have her already up in the tree.
I
You know,
don't
so
care how they
basically
did it.
two
It's
people in
keep it
one shot.
simple. Keep it simple. It still feels like thorough in terms of like a vampire just skittering up a tree, like just like
Hmm.
instinct. You know, just like this is our hiding place,
Her
security thing.
eyes are also very, very big in this scene when she's up the tree. I don't
Yep,
know. I don't know if it's like
pupils elevated. I think,
a weird thing. Yeah.
and it's the another thing, the cat theme again, where like this is something a cat would do: panic, go run, and find
Hmm.
a hide spot to just like regroup. You know,
Yep. Exactly.
and this guy and his
Look,
trauma.
the cat man.
And with this, I could totally believe this character in terms of like him like wanting to do something, but also not wanting to them all the detectives. Like he's shy. He's like an introvert. Like I could see the bright lights in his eyes, but he's also compelled to help. So like I can understand this
Hmm.
character.
For sure.
And
Me
then
too. Like, and it's also weird because you've already like it's information that you've been keeping for a while too, which would make you a premium suspect as well whenever you go to the cops with information like this.
yes, yes. As the longer he waits, he's gonna be more anxious about it in terms of him being a suspect. It's a weird thing to go through.
Hmm.
And this guy does a no. You don't fucking say you have no one left when you're sitting next to your wife. You don't do that. Like you're going through some shit. They're obviously not handling it great, but this guy fucks up. And I love the fact that his friends acknowledge it. They're like very subtle, lack. Like good job, you
Yep.
dumbass. And I like that he acknowledge like it's a drunken outburst. He's emotional. His friends roast him, and then he does the like. I've seen this so many times. I have a friend who I met him in this exact same situation, like chasing his girlfriend through the street, apologizing. That's how we met. Like I've seen this so many times. You just let him go. You just got to do it.
Oh man.
Yep. And she leaves, and strange. It's very subtle, but just the choices they make for directing, I just like. I like that we get a shot of her face, his face, and then we just hear her walking away, like up the stairs.
Yep.
You know, just very, 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 just the choices that they make, I like. So we get to see him like looking
And
as she walks away, and
yep.
then she gets ganked. Like,
Yeah.
the jungler, Ellie, the jungler. Let's go. Let's see.
The way she pops out too.
Yep.
Yeah, you just hear the noise. You see her. Boom.
Ganked. Done.
Done.
And this guy
Man.
finally gets a chance just to poof, just to fucking punt that kid. That's what, this is for Jock, you bitch. Get off of her.
Oh man.
Oh, jeez.
And yeah, she just runs away.
Hey, Dips. I can see him being concerned with his wife at that point in time. You got to check on her neck, right? She's not moving. So like, what's he gonna do? He's not gonna chase the kid. He's got to make his choice here.
True.
What do we got
I mean,
here?
like, for you
Oh,
two, I
love
mean,
this.
as the viewer, you're like, oh yeah. So now you sort of understand where his story might be going, you know? Because for now, they're kind of just side characters that are running around the story, but not having a lot of effect on it. So it's kind of weird to see where they're going.
Oh man, it's Wait, repeat that. Sorry, I was reading this one thing here.
Oh yeah. I was saying like
Hello,
as
Steven
side
Ransom. We're
characters.
not neglecting you. Don't worry. We're just chatting away. This guy. Go ahead. Go ahead. Side character. You're saying?
Yeah, so side character. Hey, Steven. Yeah, so side characters like you can at least tell now what they're trying to do with these side
Yeah.
characters because at this point it can feel like a completely different movie and like the start of a new one,
No, no,
which
no.
is pretty good.
I think they make use of all the side characters like fully. Like you totally understand all of their perspectives and like what they go through. Like her, this is one of my favorite in terms of someone waking up with vampirism and having to deal with it because it just hits you
Hmm.
smack in the face the reality of it. Like even with this part here.
Yep.
Love this right here. The way they
It's
just
like
like,
the
oh, you can just picture this like, ow, just like immediately, just like,
yeah, you're just like what the fuck was that?
yeah, like just it hits you. I mean, you just know there's something immediately off. Just to lick the finger, it's rough.
Hmm.
And this is where the reality hits, where she opens it up.
Dude, she's lucky that like the way she opened it too,
Hmm.
because man, you could have fried in a
Instantly,
second.
instantly dropped it right back if she didn't even realize.
Hmm. I just love the way that they made this entire scene of her discovering the vampirism stuff, and even just her in general,
Hmm.
because she's someone that you hadn't seen a lot before in comparison to the other guys at the pub.
Yeah.
And then when you do see her, she just gets this massive chunk in a one go, and then her
Yes.
story ends.
She has like her
You
own
know?
little mini arc in terms of her transformation. I love it. It's so simple because she's not a
Hmm.
major character, but she has been there from the beginning, and it does make sense. So you get to see,
Dude,
without even saying it or talking about it, you get to explore all that side of it through her. And even here,
yeah,
where
and
she
she gets
takes it
like
off.
the best death in the entire movie,
Oh
man.
man, it's crazy. And here, even as she's examining it, she's disturbed by how like appealing the blood is to her when she's
The
smelling it.
blood is.
Hmm.
And you can also hear like the squelching noises too.
Well, of like her neck, or what do you mean?
No, like whenever she raises the tissue like closer to her and she squeezes it a bit, you can hear like weird
Oh, the
squelching
squishy
sound
blood.
effects. Yep.
Oh, jeez, yeah, just fucking with her with the noise.
Hmm.
Now, this scene, I wasn't sure what was happening. Or was this basically like, like, is this Oscar's dad's partner or something?
Yeah, this I really didn't understand anything
Like,
about what was going on
this was
here.
the one scene. I'm like, what's happening here? So this guy
Cause
comes in. Well, look who's
yeah.
here. Good evening. Yeah, and it just seems like the vibe is shifted when he comes.
Hmm.
He's having a good time. He's smiling, and it's just there's an awkward tone to it, and the sense I get is that this is his boyfriend or his partner or whatever, and
Yep.
Oscar is like meeting him for the first time, so it's like awkward, and it's like you kind of have to fill it in yourself, and then they whip out the vodka to ease the tension, but that's the only
Hmm.
guess I have for it. So it's one of the only strange scenes where I'm not sure what they're trying to accomplish with this one in terms of just understanding like the dynamic being strange for Oscar with his dad.
For
Like,
Oscar, yeah. But I mean, the thing is that it doesn't really affect anything in the entire movie after this. You
no.
know, it's
This is why I'm
just
trying to
it's
think,
just
like, what's the
purely
purpose?
exposition.
But what does it provide for Oscar in terms of like, is this just saying Oscar is a giant homophobe? Like, is it as simple as that? You know what I mean? I don't think it's that simple. So, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
wondering if there's another thing to it that they're trying to incorporate. What do you think? While I heat this up.
it's really weird. Like I really don't think that they managed to do anything. I don't think that there was a point. I think that maybe it's something from the books that they wanted to incorporate, maybe a character or something like that, or maybe just give a justification as to like the dad's relationship situation
Yeah,
as
explaining
to
his
why he's not with his
dynamic
mother.
and
Yeah.
explaining, yeah, just trying to fill it in. It's one of those scenes where I assume there's context missing, and when there's that much context missing, I'm just wondering what it achieves here. because this is
Yeah,
one of the
it
like
feels
if I
like
was to
there was a different plot thread,
yeah,
you
there's
know, that
something
was in
here.
the movie.
Because this is one of the only scenes I'm not sure exactly what it accomplishes, but it's interesting to speculate in terms of that anyway. Because
Hmm.
it's it's like I think the fact that they showed this part with Ellie directly after that is like they're highlighting that he can't get the connection from his mom because his mom doesn't understand him. The dad doesn't
Hmm.
have so much time for him. The only one that he can really understand him is Ellie. So that's kind of my take of it.
Yeah, it's like
Well,
as I said before, it's like we have to be alone together, you know.
yeah, yeah, something like that. But what I don't understand is, does he just leave and like start hitchhiking home? Like, is he? It's like I literally, I'm like, what is happening here? Did he legit say "fuck this, I'm out" and go home?
Bro, I actually think that that's what he did
I
because,
seriously,
like,
there's something
I don't
missing
know,
here. It's
man.
like there's a scene missing there. I almost feel like, because like unless this is like him being like, maybe this is like the only thing I can think of is like him being uncomfortable with that and then leaving. Because why would we get a scene of him? It's so strange. Just my headcanon
Well,
is Oscar is
I mean,
extremely
like,
homophobic. Like, that's
yeah,
it.
it's like why would we even have a scene of him like going back to his dad? Because nothing really, like, it doesn't do jack
The
shit, man, to
first
the
scene
story.
shows the contrast between him and the mom. The second scene is a mystery. I think it's the one
Yeah,
scene you could probably
second scene
cut,
is useless.
and it makes me think that there's something missing. It's so useless and confusing that I think there's something off-putting of it. But what can you do?
Hmm.
You're not always gonna get a ball.
Yeah, we could have like we should have just gotten more of the woman that was turned into a vampire. That was it. Like use that runtime because it's like what, a 2 minute scene
You're
max.
so
So
right. I
yeah,
would have taken another scene of her, and I feel like she knows there's blood, and she's, oh my gosh, she's going down there. Does she actually lick it up in this scene? Let me see. We're gonna assume she did. Like she's not gonna just go there to sniff it, but here
hmm,
comes the worst scene in the movie. What the fuck? Why? Why? CGI
listen,
cats.
man, CGI cats and not the James Corden type. So
Oh my
it's like
god, why?
yeah,
Why? 1 second.
yeah.
Of all the
Dude,
choices.
you've got like CGI cats, a lot of them too. Like
Yeah.
none of these were practical at
And they
all.
had cats throughout the movie. Why would they do this? It's the strangest
Hmm.
scene. It's just this scene is trash. We'll just move on from it quick. They shouldn't have been like. I appreciate the like the concept of her getting jacked by cats because we already set up that they don't like vampires, right? Fair. And we already have the setup of this guy has a bunch of cats. Fair. Why did they make them look so ridiculous with the CGI? And it's the one that like bites her too that makes it look so silly. It's just, oh my god.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's like it's so funny because she just goes down the
It's this guy.
stairs with all the cats attached to her. You're like, what
Yep.
the fuck?
It's such a silly scene. In context, it makes
Hmm.
sense. In execution, it's terrible. It's this
Yeah,
guy,
it
this
just
cat,
needed
this
like a
cat, this guy right here on the right. You're just like, ah, gunk. Oh my god.
man, they fucked up.
And I love the dialogue. What the hell is wrong with these cats? Oh man. And she's out. She's losing her shit.
Oh man, it's like it's weird because like Atom Gray says that animals on set are a nightmare, but I mean
I
they're just a
know.
handful of
All they
cats,
all
man.
they
I
needed
don't
to
know.
do with to fix that scene was have it be one cat.
Yeah,
Like literally
one cat
have the
is
scene
enough.
be he's like putting all the cats in a room and the last cat notices her and attacks her and they can recreate it with one
Hmm.
like it's a mistake. They shouldn't have done that. But either way, I do love this scene that we're leading to. Like all the scenes with Ellie here.
Yeah,
Interesting
these
here.
are like the scenes that I really like. Cause right now, so this is Ellie's house,
Hmm.
and so the first thing you have is she goes to his house. This was the scene before when she got in there all bloody and stuff,
Hmm.
and now now he goes to her house, and then the last time we see him is I think it's her going to his house again, if I'm not mistaken correctly.
Afterwards.
I just think that yeah, afterwards, and then like I just love the contrast that they have between the visitation
Yeah.
stuff because you rarely see her inside a building,
Hmm.
specifically because she has to be let into the building. And I mean, even the hospital, when just before she steps in, you can hear someone off camera from the door where she was entering that was telling her like, yeah, go in here, you know.
Ah,
But it still keeps that, even if it's just like a throwaway line that you could probably miss. They still respect what they set up.
yeah. It's just what I mean. The rules are there, and they stick to them. It's just like I really get the sense that I'm watching a vampire here. It makes sense. Everything like
Hmm.
fits, you know.
Yep.
And I love that he's just blatant. It's just at this point, like he's seen too much. Like, what's going on here? And I
Are
love
you a
her answer.
vampire?
I love her answer. I love her answer of just like almost like I don't use that term, but
Hmm.
yes, like I live off blood. If that's what you want, if
Yep.
that's the term, like she's probably heard so many different terms in terms like she's not committed or attached to the word vampire, but she understands that's a concept that can describe it. But she doesn't want that term.
Hmm.
It's just so much to think about in terms of her answer. I like that. Yes, I live off blood.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to be considered as a vampire, and I know that you can't consider me as human
But this is the
either.
easiest
So
description.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just stuck in that
and
limbo
I've
because if you're a vampire, then automatically you're like a predator, you know,
exactly. It's like
the
I fit that
animalistic.
description, but I'm not a vampire. Don't put me in that box. But yes, I do live off blood. I am not. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's just there's so much to chew on when it comes to her response and the whole delivery here. Like even like I've been 12 and
Yep.
I've been 12 a long time. Like that just weighs on you. That's yeah.
Man, it fucking sucks, huh? Like being turned into a vampire as a kid.
Seriously,
I mean, like it would be
the
horrible, man.
frustration.
I'd probably die
The
because
frustration. It's like, and
Jesus.
they do like without even going too much into it, just from her expressions, you can just see the stress and the burden of all this.
Hmm.
And I just feel like there's so many other vampire movies that just don't play with like half of the things that this movie plays with in terms of exploring the concept.
Yeah, because like vampire concepts are incredibly interesting,
Hmm.
but it's just the way that you can explore each different concept of
Yes.
vampirism. So for example, like Near Dark, I was talking to you, like it explores the gritty, ultra realistic side of what a vampire's life would be like. You know, just a random ass vampire, not a
Yeah.
noble rich person. It's
Every
like,
side of
yeah,
it.
they'd probably be homeless in the street living in a van because how the hell do you conceal the fact that you're immortal? It's
Especially if
impossible.
you can't handle it mentally. Like you can have a story of two different vampires. One of them can get desensitized to the murder and all the different type of things, and they rise an empire. They're probably gonna be rich.
Hmm.
If you're living for 200 years, you're gonna be making money, right? You got that's why they're always portrayed
Hmm.
as like aristocrats and shit. Like, and then
Yep.
there's the people who just don't have. They're not built for that, and like they can't handle the life as a vampire. And it's there's so many different ways you can play with the idea, and I just love it. Like even this like her house is all trashed up, it's all dirty, but the idea that she has like super valuable objects, I find really cool.
Yep.
It just shows that she's been around for so long, like artifacts and whatnot.
Just like on one table too,
Just
you know.
chilling.
It's not a lot. It's like quality over quantity.
Yes, yes. I just feel like these all have like significant value. This is a scene where I'm like, man, I wish I read the book. I bet there's so much I'm missing right now in terms of like, what does that rabbit mean? What do the rings represent? Where
Yeah.
she get that? Like, there's just so
Narration.
much. I'd be curious to see. And even these
I
rings. What are
mean,
these rings exactly? I want more.
yeah.
I want
It's
more
like
answers.
at first I assumed it was like rings of the people that they had killed, but they
Mhm.
look way like older than just the
Yeah.
regular stuff,
I
you
could
know.
feel, I could honestly think that each one of those rings probably belonged to a vampire. There's probably a story behind every single one. There's so much you can do
Hmm.
with that. That's just for me to where my mind goes. Like,
Oh yeah, like for me, it was probably like, oh, she had like a vampire family or something
Yeah,
like that,
and even
and
this part of
disbanded.
her saying like, "Oh, to make money, I can give you money." Like, I just get the sense that
Hmm.
she's got like a vault somewhere. Like, but these things don't matter to her. And
Yeah,
his immediate like response is like, "You stole this from people you killed, eh? Like, fuck out of here. Were you even gonna let me go?" Like, just him being so direct now is refreshing
yep.
after how like oblivious he's been the whole time. So it just shows it was innocence, not stupidity.
And it also shows like her the fact that now he can stand up completely for himself. He now has that confidence after beating up his bully and
Yeah,
after befriending the second
yeah. This
bully
is
too. It's
this
like,
is
yeah,
a
this
piece
is
of his
me
arc,
now.
his growth. Like he's actually got a little bit of he's got a real little chip on his shoulder. He's grown up, and I think a piece of her is a little proud of that. Like she doesn't seem offended. She's almost just like okay, like I understand. Like this is all. It's tricky.
Hmm. Oh yeah, this
Oh
like oh this
jeez,
unlucky woman,
this lady
unlucky
just
guy too, man.
yeah. Same for him
This
too. Like you do
your
feel
wife and your best friend.
I yeah you he's human. Like even he said he was drunk. He said something stupid. He tried to apologize. He lost his friend.
Hmm.
He's having trouble dealing with it. It's just one of those things. It's like everyone's gonna handle, you know, everyone's gonna mourn in their own way. But then just seeing their relationship fall apart completely, like through this situation, is just crazy. Like he's planning their
Yep.
future, and like he's gonna do all this, all that, beautiful countryside, and she doesn't even want to fucking live. Like look at her. She's all
Yeah,
pale.
and like it's also the way that he says it too. He's like, you know what, like we've been putting this off for too long. Even though we're very like, you can tell that it's a life that he likes to live, and the only reason that he would leave is for her, which it just adds a layer of depth to it because you've seen him before. You've seen him chill with his friends at the
Yeah,
pub. You've seen the life that he has. You can see that he's happy living it.
yeah,
Whereas her, you don't ever really see her incredibly happy. She's kind of just there for him because they're married.
yeah. And this was
But
probably a dream of hers.
having, yeah, it's like having him say, yeah, you know what? It's finally time to sell this. I think it was like a stamp, like a collector's
Yeah, his
stamp that was
father's
worth like
stamps or
eighty
something. Yeah.
thousand. Yeah, it's like that's it. That's all you need for this character, and it's just done so well.
So simple. So like you have all the pieces there to figure it out. They don't have to beat you over the head with it. That's what I like.
Hmm.
This movie treats you like an adult, and just
Yep.
her demeanor, like the performances, you can really see like she knows there's something seriously wrong with her. I think she said, yeah, that kid must have infected me. Like there's something, and like it's not even the type of thing you can explain really. I also do like
Yeah,
this
because
scene.
it's
Go ahead.
it's the blood stuff that's very like I think it's the fact that she knows that she's very attracted to blood, that there's a massive problem. And if it wasn't for that or the film highlighting that, I don't think that she'd say, "Oh yeah, I don't want to live anymore" or something
Literally
like that. Yeah,
burned
it
her
wouldn't have been
finger,
powerful.
burned herself,
Hmm.
and this craving for blood. It's like how do you even compartmentalize? How do you even like process this in your own head of like, am I a fucking vampire? Like if you don't believe in
Yeah,
vampires and you're going through that, like how do you even deal with that? It's crazy. I also
dude, you
like
gotta eat
this
some garlic.
figuring this shit out, man. It's crazy. I also like this scene because it's like the one scene where Oscar's not a dick to his mom. They actually get a little bit of a bonding
Yeah.
moment. And it's just a little innocent scene, just like the highlight. They do have their moments as well. He's not a complete prick, but their relationship is clearly
Hmm.
complicated. So like, she's not really equipped with the tools to reach him, and also doesn't really understand his like weird obsessions and his phases. So it's just they're trying. That's the sense I get from these two.
Hell, if my kid like starts scrapbooking some like autopsy stuff, I'll be like, "Yo, man,
I
what is
know.
this?
What are
Do
you
you want to
doing?
become a do you want to become a mortician, bro? If
Like,
not, we're gonna have some issues, bro."
yeah, it's a little bit strange. Like, did you watch Dahmer?
Oh yeah, yeah, I've seen Dahmer.
The way his dad encouraged him with the roadkill stuff, that's fucked up.
Yeah, his dad like encouraged him with the roadkill stuff, and after that, when he finally saw that maybe he was a product of like
Woo! And
his dad's parenting, his
when he
dad
broke
just
down,
shunned that out of his mind.
when he
It's
broke
like,
down, the
yo,
dad's performance in that show is nuts. Just like seeing like him
mhm.
processing like what. Oh, I want to rewatch Dahmer now that I'm thinking about it. Shit's intense, man. And here we go. She just wants to be
uh,
released. Like, can you open the blinds, dear? Like she knows. It's you only need a few scenes to know she's just accepted this. Like from the first finger thing to the cat attack to this, you just know. Imagine
mhm.
all the thoughts that she's gone through, and she's just accepted this. I just totally believe this scene.
And it's also a good contrast too because it contrasts how a child sees the vampirism stuff and how long it takes him, even with like overwhelming evidence provided, to put two and two together, as opposed to her who's an adult in a normal state of mind
Hmm.
and who's seeing this stuff. It took her what, less than 24 hours to realize this shit.
Yeah, especially when she's experiencing it. Oh,
Hmm.
madness!
Oh man,
There it
it's so
is.
good too. Like you can really tell. Jesus.
Look at this guy's
They
face.
probably
Like, what do you
lit
even like?
someone up, man.
What is this guy's face? Like, imagine like all the things that's going through his head right now in terms of insurance and liability, and like your fucking patient just imploded. Like, okay, it's just holy fuck.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. Like to me, it's just the way that they had real flames. I think that I'm sure for 100% that's probably a real person that they just blew up.
I don't even know
It
how
has to be.
it's director secrets where I just wonder, like, how did you make this look so smooth? Like, I just like things like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And now here's the
Man,
setup for
but
him
I,
having the
I'm
older
I'm
brother.
betting
What?
it's real. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
Yeah,
the older brother setup.
good setup here. Very genuine scene. Give me the keys.
Yeah, it's just like give me the keys to the
Yeah,
house. Yeah, because I
good
mean,
setup.
as someone who has an older sister at school, at the same school as me, like sometimes
Mm-hmm.
we have to like exchange keys and
That's what I
stuff.
mean.
So
It
it's
was
just
just
like
super
really
believable. It's
natural.
not like, hey, my brother Connie. This is like blatant exposition. It's like a big brother fucking with his little brother, and then, hey, I'm locked out. Give me the
Hmm.
keys, and it sets up that they're brother. Easy, easy, easy. That's how it's done.
Now, you would have had a conversation like, "Oh my God, look, it's the bestest brother in the world."
It's
Yeah,
simple.
how are you doing, little bro?
I
I'm doing
know, I
good,
know.
big
It's so.
bro.
Oh God,
My
it's so shit.
God.
So shit. So shit. So this guy is just scrapbooking, looking for some more murders, and then Ellie shows up. Yep.
Yep, there she is. Man, I wonder if the actress did any other work
I don't
recently or
know. She's
anything
so
like that.
good. I'm curious what she looks like now. Like, just this was so long ago, right? And
Yeah, because this was 2008.
something like that,
Yep.
quite a while ago.
Oh man, yeah. I looked her up. Like she's only made two other movies after this. That was it
I remember
in
she.
2013.
Oh fuck! I'm gonna check into what they are. But no, this is definitely the
Mm.
most iconic one. Like she'll remember for this one forever.
Oh, for sure.
And him, this is Oscar just asking those curious questions. What happens if I don't?
Yeah, it's like that's what the audience would think too, because you are exploring this thing of vampirism where vampires have to be invited in, which is actually something that's rarely explored
Is
with vampire
this,
movies.
if I was to reference possibly one scene that's probably one of my favorite vampire scenes in terms of exploring the concept, it would be this scene. You've
Dracula.
never seen I've never seen another movie really explore this and show the
Mm.
consequences of it and like establish the rule and why it's there, you know?
Yeah,
It's so well done.
like that's what I mean. You always see like hear the fact that oh yeah, I need to be invited in, but you never see the consequence of that. Like the only other vampire related thing that I remember is the BBC Dracula TV show, the one that only has 3 episodes. And in one of the episodes, Dracula goes to I think it's like a church or something like that, and the nuns don't let him in. So he's
Mm.
just basically standing in front of the gate and just waiting. He says, "I know one of you will slip. I know one of you will probably crack," and like he basically torments them by saying stuff until one of them just
Oh, see,
snaps
that's
and
another way
says,
you can play with it, right? Just kind
"Come
of
in."
like torment them from the outside. Anything trying to like
Exactly.
the manipulation aspect, like vampires trying to actually get you to invite them in. I like that you can play with that,
Mhm.
but I've never seen one actually test it. Like, what happens if I don't? Is there something blocking you? Like, what actually happens?
Yep.
Like, and we get the answers. It's not that they physically can't. It's that they're not going to because they know it'll fucking kill them. Like, she just starts like
Oh
imploding or
yeah.
whatever it is. And I just remember
Dude,
watching this like,
she
holy
fucking like
shit.
bleeds everywhere.
Yeah.
Eyes, ears, mouth. Jesus.
So, and the face she gives him is like, okay, he needs to learn this lesson now. Like, let me just show him this. And
Hmm.
she's just, oh my goodness. Like, look at his face. She
I
just
also
starts like,
love the. I just love the fact that like he was looking at the door too, acting like there was an invisible wall. Like,
yeah, he's just like, was there
come in
something
here.
there? Like, how do you even know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Out the ears, out the eyes. Like, holy shit. Where's,
Jesus. Man, it's nasty.
yeah, and he just like starts panicking. I invite you. You're in. You're allowed in. Go, go, go. Just immediately.
Hmm.
Oh, man.
Dude.
This.
And now she looks scary as
That's the
fuck. She
shot.
just looks like a corpse.
That's the iconic shot right there. The skin, the
Hmm.
blood, everything. And I love how she does the callback to the beginning. Squeal, squeal.
Yep.
The first
And
words
I
I
don't
ever
know
heard
if
you say.
like did she say it in his voice?
That would be interesting if that's like some Predator shit where she like imitated him. She
Yeah, because
definitely.
I
She was.
wasn't sure because the voice changed a bit. I was like, oh wait,
That would be interesting
it
if she
raised an eyebrow for me.
legitimately. If she, I know we know she's impersonating him, but did she actually do it in his voice? That would be cool. A real cool touch.
Hmm.
Hmm. And like this is her finally acknowledging to him, like making him admit that like I kill people for because I need to, you know, and you would like it if you could, in terms of for revenge. Just setting it up,
Yep.
getting to admit it. This is it.
It's like they're very open with each other,
Yeah.
and I think that it just complements what we said before of her trying to turn him into her next like caregiver, and
Mm-hmm.
the fact of showing him all of this now is to get it out of the way and also to
Desensitize.
understand who he is. Yeah, to desensitize him, you know.
It's testing him and training him at the same time. Like, just like, these are the
Yep.
things you're going to need to know, and I need to see if you can handle this right now. Oh, God, that's the one.
Yep.
This is the one where I didn't notice her skin.
Yeah, she's all wrinkled and old
Yeah.
now.
So it's like, whew. Yeah, that looks so fucking
It is
creepy.
really, really scary.
Yeah, it's super
especially
creepy.
with the blood now.
And the fact that they don't like highlight it too much, you just get a little glimpse of it. Really well done. And then it cuts right
Yeah,
back
that's
to the face
scariest
again.
part, is
Yeah.
that you get it for what, for 3 to 5 seconds, not even, and that's when you're just like, oh, what? Like, it's enough for you to just blink and you miss it
Yeah.
if you're not watching it like at home where you can rewind it, you know.
And it's just, they're so powerful each time. You just really get a sense of her history and the pain that she's holding inside. It's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oscar, where are you going, Oscar? Oh, the invite.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. This I kind of forgot. This is why she needed to change the clothes, because she fucking like imploded with blood.
Yep.
All her gear was all bloodied up. I kind of blanked that for a second because like, you're reacting to the scene. It's like, oh yeah, she would need a change of clothes. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's like it was weird for me too, because you're so concentrated on what happened that you're actually not even processing the fact that she actually needs to change clothes.
Yeah, and that's what I mean in terms of continuity. Like how many times you see people like completely muddy and then they're clean in the very next scene? Like just little continuity I appreciate, like things like
You're
that.
going into the water and then coming out not wet. It's like,
Oh my god,
whoa,
yeah, it drives me nuts, man.
that's
Like the
incredible.
you remember Saw 3 where the guy's getting covered in pig goo?
Oh yeah,
Like blended pigs, and in the very next scene he's like clean. Like it's so ridiculous. Oh man,
Dude, don't underestimate the power of Jigsaw's power washing machine. Yeah.
What did you think of his peeping tom moment? I can't believe I don't even know if I should show it. If I should skip it. Well, they show some young. I don't even know what they're showing there, but they show Oscar doing a little peep. That's all I can say.
I mean, I think that it's cool because you think, does this person look like a human under their skin?
yeah,
You
it's the
know, like-
curiosity. It's the curiosity for her.
Yeah. 'Cause, I don't know if you've seen the VHS movies, but the first VHS movie, the one where
The vampire chick.
there's the vampire
It's
chick.
the
You're
only
like,
one I
it looks
remember.
like- it looks like a normal chick, but yo, look at the feet,
No,
bro.
this is
She
why-
had, like, Bigfoot feet.
This is the thing about that story that appeals to me so much. It's just like some drunk dude. Like if they think they're taking home a hot chick, that would definitely happen. You know what I mean? Like they would ignore all the fucking red flags and bring home a vampire and get jacked. Like that would totally happen to some horny dude. Oh yeah, in this part,
Dude, 100%.
Yep, easily jacked. And here it is. I love this part.
Mhm.
And then floomps
Yep,
right over
boom.
so quick.
Gone.
How'd you even do that?
Y-
And he's just
And you
impressed at
never
this
see
point.
her fly.
No, I love that
never see
you
her
don't
fly.
need to see it. You just need the aftermath, and he's just impressed by it at this point. Now, what's she doing here? This is a part I'm not really sure. Was this bones? What was she? What?
Yeah, this one also I didn't really understand,
I
because it was just like her playing with something, and then it just transitions to the other guy going into like her house. I
Book
think.
scenes. Book scenes. This has to be like one day I'll read the book and I want to know the detail behind every object in that room. I feel like there's a story behind
Yeah,
that whole
it's
table.
probably like a reference, you know.
Mhm. This I don't. This part I don't understand. What the fuck was this?
Mm-hmm.
Oscar
Just
doing
like-
a little peep. What is this?
Looking at his mom.
Yeah,
just
I don't. I
chilling.
don't. I genuinely don't know what that. I have no interpretation. Like what? Huh? Just Oscar being a creepy, creepy kid. Now back to lacking his pain. Lost your woman. Lost your best friend.
Dude, and the fact that he always just has to go back to the same spot as well,
Yeah.
because the same spot where they find his best friend's like body is where he passes every day. You know.
Yeah. He's traumatized. He always has to pass that spot. You're right. That would really suck. I'm just trying to get the
Mm-hmm.
caption for here. Yes, hi, I'm in the bathroom. Please don't come in.
Yep.
Because that makes sense. She's got a different time schedule for them to sleep. Meet me tonight.
Mm-hmm. I like you very
Sweet,
much.
very just a sweet, simple note. And this,
Man, it is a nice note. Yeah,
and
and like,
I feel this is all so
ew.
fed up in terms of him. He knows it was the kid. He knows the kid lives there. He's pushed to this point now. I could totally see him doing this. What does he have left to live for? He's his
Yeah,
whole. You know what I
like
mean?
he has nothing left to
Nothing.
lose at all.
He just knows. He just passed by this. Yeah, it's all set up. A shot of him passing by the scene, and then sneaking right back in.
Hmm. And I had to like double take this scene to understand that he had gone into the house because they don't explicitly like show him going into the house.
Mm-mm.
I was like, it was just recognizing it from memory. I was like, oh wait, okay, now I see it.
It was the shot of him looking at the window and the fact that he knows
Hmm.
that she lives there. That was enough for me. And the fact that he knows it's the kid. He kicked her, right?
Yeah, he did.
Now,
And
just with that,
yeah,
he's just
this is
probably
where you see
suspicious.
Oscar.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Oscar's there
Hidden.
on the table.
Slick, slick. Because, like, he knows no one should be there. So, what the fuck's going on, right?
Mm-hmm. Then he goes into the
There it is.
bathroom.
And he knows.
There it is.
And this is what I was talking about earlier. We're just a bootleg coffin. You don't need some big ass crate. Just ghetto style. Close the bathroom. Get some cardboard. Get a sheet. Just bootleg coffin. What are you gonna do? And I like that they
Mm-hmm.
did this. They didn't have to. Her sleeping in a bed here would have been such a missed opportunity for like exploring the lore. Like what? How does she replicate a coffin in an apartment?
Yeah, it's true. Cause, I mean, even if she slept in the living room or something like that, I don't think that she would have been as comfortable, even if it was boarded up,
Yeah,
because it needs to be something compact where you can
sealed,
just stay in, you
completely
know?
sealed. No lights possibly gonna have to risk. You want to be able to sleep and be completely comfortable. It's their one. It's like it's
Mm-hmm.
their major weakness. So I like, and that's what makes them so balanced. They have their strengths, they have their weaknesses, and it just makes them so much more appealing. Compared to like that's why I brought up Pennywise as the example of like I have no idea what that motherfucker is capable of, why he does the things he does.
Dude, Pennywise is a fucking cosmic spider that
Yeah,
transforms into
it's
a
just you
clown.
can
It's
just do
like,
whatever the
my
fuck. Yeah,
brother,
it's too
no.
much. It's too much.
Man,
And she's
Stephanie
just
King was on the white powder
yeah,
way too much
he
writing
was
that.
plastered during everything he wrote. He just got coked up and just started smacking the keyboard, and whatever happened happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she just looks so innocent here. It's like the one time you see her just vulnerable, and he's just like, "Fuck this kid."
Yeah, man, he took out the knife directly. He was ready. I actually thought that he was gonna kill Lackey because I felt like it was gonna be him, especially after having the conversation of needing to take a life out of necessity.
Mhm.
So I was gonna think that this was gonna be his big moment of having to take that life out of necessity,
Mhm.
you know?
But it's
But
just him
it
understanding the
didn't happen.
process. Like, even can you imagine? He saved her life. This has probably never happened. Like she's indebted to him in a way. It's a different dynamic completely. Like she's been grooming him to be
Yep.
able to, but like understanding that she has something even more here in terms of someone who's like, this is the ultimate like deed that she did for her. Like it's crazy. This is the main thing that's gonna keep them bonded for life after some moment like this.
Hmm.
And this
Yep.
is the thing. I think you get both. He might have committed. Like if he had to pull the trigger and like actually stab this guy, I really think he would have. For Ellie,
Oh, he would have
Mhm.
for sure.
but Ellie's just Ellie's just
Ellie's just quick as fuck.
holy Ellie ganks, man. Ellie,
Yep.
Ellie. And the way they do
Gone.
this is so perfect. You don't need to see it. You get the one arm shot. You know what's going on in there. This guy is getting absolutely jacked.
Well, it's the portrayal of violence and the way that they do it too, because the violence, number one, first and foremost, is being committed by a kid. So that's something that you rarely see.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's a kid that has to bite down on your neck,
Hmm.
it's just such a violent thing to even think about that all you need to do is show a little blood on the scene
Yep.
and show the kid with some blood on their mouth,
You can
and
imagine the
it's enough
rest.
for yeah, exactly. It's enough for you to just make that head canon. It's like, yep, that's gruesome enough.
Yeah, it's a scene that works so perfectly fine. Close the door and we can fill in the rest with our imagination. And just getting the shot of her with the bloody mouth is always so compelling.
Hmm.
And her, like, Oscar's processing all this, but for her, she's just understanding the reality of, like, fucking thank you, man. Like, and she
Yep.
knows that this is
Exactly.
not sustainable. Like, look at this. This guy knows now we got the body. I can't do this anymore. And that's this part. This is where this scene matched with the first scene of her saying, "Go away," is making me think that she's just prepping him, prepping him to understand that we need to go
Hmm.
and like building it up.
Yeah,
Oh, this
because
fucking shot.
you can tell that she doesn't want to leave alone. That's
Yeah,
the thing. You can tell that she doesn't want to be alone again, and now she needs to go. So how do we get this person to go with me?
yeah. The pain in this little girl's eyes, man. Like it just
Oh,
trauma.
dude, she looks dead inside.
Yeah, she does. And the
Absolutely
bloody
looks dead.
kiss. And this is the thing I noticed about this kiss is Oscar fully commits, happy to be kissed. What she does
Hmm.
is she looks up first to examine him to see if he's cool with it. She looks. I don't know if I can get it. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
She looks and checks. That's how self conscious she is now. It's the same thing in terms of like, is he comfortable with this? Like just testing him all the way. So she looks and then she gets comfortable. Where Oscar was comfortable all the
Yep.
way through. And this is
Hmm.
kind of what he asked for. Remember them joining blood? This is
Yep.
he gets what he wanted in the end. And this guy just dude. This guy.
The poor dude is just like
Yeah.
here. He was trying to avenge his friend and his wife. It's like,
Yeah.
nope,
He's
that's
innocent in
it.
a way, but like they've just you get both sides of it so much to where like I'm not rooting against him, but I understand why he got jacked. It's just he got caught slipping, dude. Like, oh
Hmm.
man. And now with this thing here, is this where have you been? Is this why she's
Yep.
cussing him? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like, where have you been? Because the dude has been gone. I think
Overnight. Yeah.
probably overnight. Yeah,
Mhm.
especially knowing that there were two bodies around and stuff. So
Yes. Yes. Yeah. That would make sense. She'd be panicking.
feel
Back
stressed
to
out.
scrapbooking.
Yep.
Let's see. That's the last one here. The
Hmm.
yeah, they cleared out the table. What I'm not what I'm unsure of is did they show the car?
The car.
Oh, is it a taxi she
Yeah.
took? Probably a taxi, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
That's why I was confused by. I was like, "No, I don't know, man. This is weird because it feels as if it was established that only, let's say, her and the caretaker would be able to take a car and stuff. So seeing her going and taking a car sort of alone feels a bit off, you know?
I think it's strange to add that. I don't think it's 100% that she can't do things on her own because the like the scene where she goes to the hospital, she knows how to navigate people and manipulate them. She got the information of which
Hmm.
hospital room she was in, and she portrayed herself as a kid. So I have enough from those scenes to assume that she can go and do like she can call herself an Uber. I'm assuming, you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
I think in the bigger picture, she knows she needs to replace them,
Hmm.
and that's where Oscar's for her.
Yep. Like
And the
that's genuinely my thought since the beginning of the movie is that like she's consistently trying to replace him because she doesn't want to be alone. I mean, even after all those years, who the hell would want to be alone, you know?
it's probably something that she needs to do. And like the Guardian or Hakon, whatever his name is, he's probably not the first. This is probably just something that is just a reoccurring thing, and they have an understanding of it, right?
Hmm.
It's just one of those things. It's so tricky.
I mean, especially if you consider like the caretaker that she had previously probably met her maybe when she had a previous caretaker too. So
Yep.
he saw the cycle start. That's why he understands
He
everything. There's so
knows
much
that this is the
headcanon
guy.
work in
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah. I love movies like this that give you things to chew on. You don't need definitive answers, but it just makes sense that as he sees Oscar and he knows that he's slipping, the cycle's, it's time for the cycle to continue. And I just feel like both him and Ellie were mentally preparing for that.
Hmm.
That might even be why they came to this location in the first place. So many little things to
Actually,
think
yeah,
about.
that's a good thing to think
This
about.
is what I
Yeah.
mean. There's so much to chew on compared to Rings of Power or Disney Star Wars. There's just nothing. This is why I bitch about these things. Like if you're bored, check out my reaction to the Ahsoka finale when you're bored. It's all my shit is edited and scripted and thought out. That's me just losing my mind yelling at the screen because it's like what a waste. What a fucking waste, man. There's just nothing here to work with.
Yep.
And if we get a
Yep.
shot here, I think you mix these two shots here, the arm the handprint,
Mm-hmm.
the shot of the park, and then the shot of Oscar is just highlighting the loneliness without Ellie.
Yep.
The idea
Completely
of losing
agree.
her, yeah, it's just perfect. But it's all we need. We don't need a word. Don't need a single word. And here we go. The setup,
The bully's calling.
the fucking fake bully. This guy, the conflicted bully. So we have the big
Yeah.
brother, we have the dickhead, we have the pussy, and we have, I call this the man of conflict. This guy doesn't know if he wants to be a friend, a bully. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's just lost. He's more
Yep.
conflicted than the fucking Guardian and Ellie. He's like the most
And
complicated
that
character.
that 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 like that ultimately gets him killed because
Yeah.
it's weird. I don't know. I don't feel as if there's like a morality scale as to maybe, let's say, if you're a better person, you die a better death. You know, like a quicker one. Because all these
No.
everyone's just been having horrendous
Innocent
deaths, man.
innocent lady, completely innocent, died of
Hmm.
like imploding, like completely burned to death. The guy who's trying to help an innocent kid gets his neck snapped, and after his neck bit, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like they're completely ruthless when it comes to that. There's none of that like happy death shit. And yeah, they commit to it, which I really like. It's another thing that makes this movie so gritty. Like all the deaths are just like visceral and like you feel them. I,
Yep, I
I,
agree.
why is this gym called bad? That's what I'm wondering about. Just bad gym. I just felt, or
It's
no,
it's it's
bad
it's a
pool.
small term for badass. You
I,
know,
I
that's how
don't,
they try to do it. Badass was too expensive,
I don't
man.
even. They just couldn't find the other two letters, or the three letters. I don't even get it. Bad pool. That's how this reads to me. Like this pool shit. Don't come. I don't get it. And what I find this, I'm wondering if there's something I'm missing here in terms of an interpretation. This little scene here, he's getting ready. Oh, Oscar, and then you kids are gonna get hurt. You can't leave this here, all right? What are they?
Yep.
What is that? What? Why did they? What? I'm
I
trying
don't
to.
know.
What's the purpose of that scene? Is that them setting
I
up?
mean, I guess like
I
it
feel like
was
there's
a
something here. I don't feel
soap.
like it's nothing. You drop the soap. Like I'm not sure. There's something there that I feel like I'm missing. Otherwise, it feels like a pointless scene that's not pointless. I feel like I'm just kind of missing something here. There's something that they're setting
Mhm.
up with this. I don't know why they would add that. Not like the dad scene. That was pointless. Upper
Yep.
aromatic.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, well, here it's I don't know, man. Maybe it's to distract the teacher because he does leave again later,
That was
and
my
that's why
other.
they're alone.
Yeah, that was my other thought of like it was the first setup of him being distracted by things.
Yeah, so like at least here we know that with not only his responsibility not only extends to taking care of Oscar, but taking care of the facility itself.
You
So
know
if
what?
if
Yeah,
a place is dirty, if something isn't working, he's like automatically taking care of it.
maybe that's it. Just a little setup for why he's so like urgent when it comes to taking care of these things of himself. Like very simple.
Yeah, just kind of a justification.
Two
Yep.
seconds. And this guy, they set up the
Hmm.
trick. The old fakeroo set up a fire, get the teacher out, and then Mr. Bully. And I
Yes,
feel like
sir.
Oscar's face is like this is the happiest he's in the entire movie. Like he's all fucked up. He's thinking Ellie's gone. Like maybe this guy actually wants to be my friend. Maybe he was telling the truth. He's so happy. He's so happy. Oh fuck no, they're here to kill me. It's like
Yeah,
shit.
it's because what's it called? Like you can tell that there's a cure for no loneliness there. It's like, yeah, man, that's just what you'd expect from the dude, but you got the other bullies coming through. It's like, oh
Hmm.
man, yeah, I'm the big brother. I'm gonna fuck you up. It's like, chill out, Steve Harrington.
And
Jesus, man,
he
relax.
just he just says it straight up. Like you know who I am. Okay, you know why I'm here. Come here. And it's just the you
Hmm.
can just tell the influence. Like there's nothing scarier than the older kids when you're a little kid. It's just there's the gap there.
That's
You
true.
know, it's like
Yeah.
they're like adults. They have the strength of an adult, but they're not like, they're still kids at heart. You can't anticipate what they're gonna do. They're the scariest. You know, an adult is still gonna be an adult at the end of the day, but a teenager,
Hmm.
you never know. This is like they really nailed this scene in terms of the fear, like just the bigger brother.
And it's just like he's just like, yeah, come close to me. He doesn't even say it. He just like moves his fingers like, yeah, come
Just come
here,
here.
and he just goes like he reverts back to who he was at the beginning of the movie, Oscar.
Instantly, yeah, yeah. And I'm just thinking like, oh man, this would really suck. But my strategy would be to swim to the
Hmm.
middle of the pool and wait for the teacher to come back. Like, fuck all this. But
Yeah, it's
Oscar, this
like
is totally in
these
character.
dudes probably won't jump in the pool. Like, hell yeah, man, we hiding.
And they set up the brother property where, like, I feel he might have had the courage to tell Connie to fuck off at this point. But the brother, no, not
Hmm.
a chance. And especially when he knows the brother's up for revenge.
Yep.
And these assholes destroy the thing. And here
3
it is.
minutes. And I
Here it
just love
is.
the reactions of everyone
Yeah,
else because
the
you can
tension,
just see them start to like think,
the
okay,
panic,
we're
and
probably gonna kill this
yeah,
kid
we're
right
pushing it
now.
too far. Like the little sissy, he's the first one to panic, of course. But the fact that Connie
Yep.
starts getting nervous, the bully kid, is when you really know something's
Hmm.
up. And there it is, the shot. This is legit one of my favorite horror shots. Like just the yeah, the pool and everything. I in my It video years ago, my one of my like early videos, I put a clip of this mentioning like horror scenes that I like, and
Hmm.
just the way they set this up, so cool.
Oh, dude, it's like, well, now it's just Carnage Fest.
And
I
you,
could imagine how
yeah,
crazy it was up there.
just fuck,
'Cause
and you get the
I mean,
sense of both of
you
them.
get some weird, crazy shit because you get to see his like feet in the water, and then they just float away like he's
Mm.
Jesus. You're like, oh my god.
Everything about it's so creepy. And these two giving each other the look, they just know like, okay,
Hmm.
this has gone a little too far. Like, what are we doing here?
And he's the only guy that gets spared, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. And
'Cause,
you know, it's
he just
interesting.
closes
It
his
makes me
eyes.
feel that Ellie has been watching this whole time to have that type of context.
Yeah, because I could get this kid getting killed because, like, you didn't, like, you tried, you
Yeah.
had your chance of redemption, but
Everyone
nope,
had their
you
moment
fucked up.
here, and this is like we've taken it too far. This guy's like, okay, clearly, you know, there it is. This is why
Hmm.
it is. And Connie's just
Yep.
like, oh man, here we go.
Yep. Connie was just like, fuck it. Dude. For me, the weird thing is the fact that we still have the brother's hand
That's my
ho-
one
holding his,
issue with
like,
it.
holding his head,
It's the
man.
one
So
issue with
weird.
it. It's the one issue. You have to try to like, how would he not panic and let go of it? I'm trying to think of a way logistically how that would work, where he would see all this happening but still holding on to it. I think
There's no way.
it might. It's a mistake. It's a mistake of some kind. They did it for the suspense of the scene, but yeah, it's definitely something they should have redid. But it's yeah. I look at this
I
as
mean,
like the T-Rex scene in Jurassic Park. It's an incredible scene, beautiful
it
scene, but
is.
no, it makes no fucking sense. Where did that drop come from? It's just one of those things.
Oh my
And I
god,
was thinking about
bro.
that today of
You're
like, oh
you're
fuck.
exactly like me.
Yeah,
I swear to God, I was literally thinking about that this after. Every single fucking day, I
yeah.
think about how the Jurassic Park sequence works. Like I'm consistently
Where did
thinking
it
about
come from?
the architecture. And you know, I wanted to look it up, but whenever I want to look it up, I'm like, nah, you know what? Let me just try and figure it out myself.
It wasn't there. There's no reason for that giant. They had the suspense of the first scene, and they magically opened up an escape route for them because otherwise they wouldn't be able to get out. That's the only way you're escaping
Hmm.
a T-Rex, a jump. So yeah, that's why they
Yep.
had to do it. But what can you do?
So,
You
I
gotta
mean,
take the good with the
to
bad.
fix this scene, I mean, to fix the scene, they could have just done one very, very easy thing and just have him, what's it called? Like, have his arm be the first thing that's chopped off,
Yes,
and
that's
then
all
all
they
the
needed to
rest just
do,
follow.
and then you could slowly see the blood come down. I think it's a mistake. It's one of the scenes where the suspense and the execution of the scene will distract you from the flaw, but the flaw takes away from the whole premise of like how that doesn't make sense. Like he would react,
But
especially because that's his
so
brother.
so so you see that's the thing is like the Oscar himself, even if you have the hair like even if you have the hand that's pushing him down be the first thing that's cut off, he'd probably still stay underwater
Yes,
with
everything.
because he
That's
probably wouldn't even realize that it's like there's no weight on him
he's
anymore, you
doing
know?
his time. Like this guy's committed to trying to do those 3 minutes. It's part of the reason the scene
Hmm.
works, right? So all you needed to do was have that fix, and then have everything else happen. And by time the other things happen, you see the hand come down. But what can you do? You can't have it all. But here, let's check it out.
Yep.
Yep. The pressure, Connie. The pressure's getting to them.
Hmm. This kid is probably gonna be a serial killer if he had grown up, man.
Mm-hmm.
The brother.
Yeah, because where do you think Connie learned all that shit? From his brother, right? It all makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And here it is.
Yep. Boom. You just see some stuff like that. It's like, yo, what the fuck?
You just hear the. I love that you hear it from underwater too. It just makes it so much more suspenseful.
Mm-hmm.
The whoosh. I love this shot. And
Dude,
just
it's
the subtle
just so
screaming.
good.
Oh my god, it's so perfect. And then up. Whoop. I'll
Mm-hmm.
never forget the first time I saw that. Like, holy shit. Like,
Dude,
that's what I
'cause-
want to see. Like, creative angles, creative concepts, and ideas. Like, Ellie is fucking them up,
Yeah.
and you don't even need to see it. You just know carnage is going down.
And it's like to have Ellie do that specifically means that she probably has to have wings, you know, that are popping out of somewhere. Or
Something,
some
but you
shit
don't
like
need to
that.
see it. Like, or if like I never speculated on wings specifically for her, but like in terms of her capability, like I never pictured what it looks like from the above, but like you don't even need to. It's just that from this angle, it's so fucking terrifying. It's the best possible angle they could have done. For
You
this.
can just tell. You can just tell that it's something purely animalistic that's attacking. them. You
Supernatural.
can tell
There's
that
nothing that
it's
could do
not
that physically.
Ellie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and then the shot of the head.
Boom. Bloop. Just having it slowly touch the floor is like, yep.
Crazy.
Then the arm gone. Yep.
They just first see an arm and then have it slowly grip because the arm would still be gripping the hair, right? Yeah, there's a lot of
Yep,
fixes
exactly.
they could have did, but I still love the scene. I compared it, like I said, Jurassic Park.
Man, and it's like this is a pretty fast climax too because before all of this starts, I think it's like at an hour 44 or 40 or something like
Yeah,
that.
this is like the
in
very,
what-
very end.
Yeah, in like 10 minutes, it manages to wrap up everything.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of those movies from the like Hollywood's golden age, so 30s, 40s, 50s, where they'd manage to wrap up everything in like 7 minutes.
Yeah, they're efficient. They're not wasting time with this because they've built everything up to this point. And what I love about this too is like it almost like him being baptized in blood with her, and like the way
Yep.
they show the eyes coming out after, like the reconnecting with her. Like imagine going underwater with the fucking bully threatening to poke your eye out, and then coming back up and seeing the love of your life right there. You know what I mean? Like
And
they-
it's like the last time that we saw her eyes too where she had those cat supernatural
Yep.
eyes, and now it's just him staring at her, and she has like the most human looking beautiful eyes
Yeah.
that you could probably ever see, and it's like yep.
imagine what they look like 2 seconds ago. Like this is the shot. This is the shot.
Mm.
Look at what she did to these guys. Holy shit.
Jesus.
Like literally, Connie is like backwards. Connie's like literally backwards. That guy, I don't even know what happened to him. Like he's the one who got
Dude, he's
dragged, and it's the brother got decapitated, but
Oh, the dude in the
yeah,
back.
number
yeah,
2.
yeah.
Holy shit, he's the one who got dragged.
His
like-
legs are on the wrong way.
Oh my god, yeah. Connie, the main kid, yeah.
torso
This
is
guy,
probably on
yeah,
the
he's
wrong way.
backwards. And this dude, I don't even know if he's opened his eyes yet. Like he's still probably like just trembling. Oh my god. Yeah, what a shot.
Nah, dude, he's probably just praying. That's it.
Oh, look at the blood spread there. You can see the blood spread. See that? Right here.
Mhm.
See that? That's so fucked
Yep.
up.
Man, so
Crazy.
good too.
And back to
And
the
yeah,
opening
just
shot of the
back
snow.
to the opening.
Mhm.
Yep.
And what he does here, apparently, I looked this part up. This is, again, him. They set up that they need to travel, and what he does here, Morse
Yep.
code. It's Morse code for kiss. So like blows her a kiss.
Aww.
There you go, gentleman.
That's
And
pretty
there,
cute.
the full cycle, man. Like you can look at this and just picture that this is his life up until like he gets to that point where he needs to be recycled, just like the Guardian. It's gone
Yep.
full circle, man.
I mean, now that he has her in a box, all he needs to do is just put her on his back and boom, become
That's
a demon
it.
slayer.
That's
That's
it.
it.
He's set up. But just you can just fill in the rest. Like him, he's got his box, he's got his girl, he's good. They fill in the
Mhm.
rest. And
Yep.
boom, we did it. We fucking did
Yes,
it.
sir.
Can you believe we did like a 2-hour breakdown with like zero prep and like barely even knowing how to fucking set this shit up? It'll all be easier after this for sure.
OBS, man. OBS.
Yeah, I know. I've looked at so many things trying to figure it out. It's madness, man. But That was let the
Hmm.
right one in. I think it's like criminally underrated when it comes to horror movies, vampire movies, uh, romance movies, coming of age movies. It checks so many boxes at once. Great performances, and my
Dude, I'm
personal
telling you.
favorite exploration of the vampire genre. Where like I I like Blade is another one where I love in terms of like all the concepts, like the serum, the
Hmm.
different things that they invented and whatnot. But in terms of tonally, like my favorite interpretation of a vampire, Ellie's my favorite vampire. She's just perfect.
Yeah, I mean this reminds me a lot of so Park Chan-wook, the guy that made Old Boy and all that stuff. Like it reminds me a lot of his films for because like I've been going through his entire filmography for like the past month making my Old Boy video,
Mm.
and it just reminds me a lot, especially with the visual imagery that he does. It reminds me in particular of one of his movies called Sympathy for Lady Vengeance, because it plays a lot with snow and the loss of innocence with the symbolism like that too. And man, it's just really, really good and tight. It just needed maybe like two scenes removed to be even tighter and even better.
Yeah,
But
that was my big takeaway from this. Where like I feel like a slight increase of the pacing would
hmm
benefit it tremendously. And there is a couple scenes that I think could have been like the father scene that we mentioned, but then there's other ones that are
yep,
more slow burn that I still feel are useful in terms of understanding his character, like the shots of Oscar and the sadness. Like I do
agreed.
appreciate the slow burn. I appreciate the slow burn aspects of it, and I think it would be even better if they chopped out some of the other ones so you can like just tighten it all up a little bit to make the other slow burn aspects of it more easy to
Totally
appreciate,
agree.
you know? Because
Yep.
everything else just
Hmm.
works. Just tighten it up tiny, tiny bit. And I just so many people don't know about this one. Like on Open Bar, big part of the reason I mentioned this is someone super chatted like, "Hey, what's your favorite vampire movies?" And everyone said the typical. No one mentioned this movie, and I was like in the chat going nuts, like you motherfuckers. And this is why it was on my mind of like, okay, I gotta do this. So, boom! I'm so happy you at least got this one because
Dude,
this is like a
I think
massive
it's like
vampire one out the way.
I think it's like stunted because of the American remake. So I know that a lot of people are more
Man,
familiar with the American remake than they are with the original
is
one.
that
I
not the
mean, some
problem
people
that
don't
you
even know that
described?
it's a remake.
That's what you
No, dude,
described
I'm
with the
telling
thing. Like you said that
you.
people, so many people are focused on John Carpenter's The Thing. They don't even appreciate the other one, and like that's I could see
Yep.
that totally. And like I've never even watched the remake of this because I don't even want to see it. There's no way you're gonna top Ellie and Oscar's performance. No way. Like I don't even
I
want to see you
agree. I mean,
try. Like go away.
I think they have like I think it's Chloe Grace Moretz that plays the like that plays Ellie.
I
If
don't
I'm
know who
not
the fuck that
mistaken.
is, but there's no way she's replacing this golden child. Like
Dude,
she is
she's
perfect.
what's it called? She played Carrie in the reboot.
Oh, nah, she's I
She
don't know.
she played Hit Girl in Kick Ass.
Oh, jeez, no. I'd much prefer.
Yeah.
Ellie's just perfect. This is the way to do it, man. And
Hmm.
just when it comes to um, like representing a movie monster or anything like that, I like the xenomorph is like the perfect alien. Like just nailing
Ooh.
the interpretation of an alien. And I really think Ellie is like one of the perfect vampires. I love this movie. I wish more people would like acknowledge its existence. And yeah,
Hmm.
man, just one of those ones that needed to be appreciated. I'm glad we actually got to
Hey,
fucking
for sure,
tackle this
man.
shit.
Oh, dude,
Holy.
I'm even glad that you made me watch it because this has been on my watch list for a while now.
Yeah,
I mean, my rewatch list because I watched this when I was a kid,
ages, but
but then
taking it
I
in as an
haven't
adult
seen
is
it
just
in a
different.
while.
It's totally different. There's so many
Hmm.
different things to appreciate, and rewatching movies is like a big part of the reason I critique movies because like I feel like you get the truth on a rewatch. You know how you felt when you watched it, and then rewatching it,
Oh,
now you
dude, for
actually know what
sure.
it is, and that's the big thing for me, you
Hmm.
know. And shout
Dude,
out
this
to the
is
chat.
something that,
Gotta
yeah,
give these
shout out to
guys
the
some
chat,
love.
man.
Yeah, I didn't. Bro, it's I'm trying to. All I see is a VLC screen here, so it's hard to like navigate both. But like, no, thanks to everybody who fucking came out. Like anyone who's a horror fan, vampire fan, like, just trying to get this like get the momentum going on this podcast. It's been an idea I've had for like a long time, but trying to get the format down and trying to get guests too. Like we've been trying for weeks now just to link up.
Oh, dude, we've been trying for 3 weeks to link up. We finally got time today, and I was like, yeah, man. And plus, you wanted to postpone again. I
Oh
was like,
my
nah, man, let's
god,
just do
no,
it.
no, no. Let's figure this out. Let's figure this out because like the Walking Dead one, I'm like, like I mentioned that to a few people now at this point, but you were one of the first people I invited it to, so I want to make sure you're there. But if we push
Yeah,
that one
yeah,
forward, then we might be able to get a bigger group and be able to like, and also that's a shorter. It's like just an episode. Like this was a full 2 hour breakdown, so it might
for
have been
sure.
better just the two of us, right? But what
Yeah,
can you do?
it's much faster too.
Yeah. But yeah. What is there anything that you want to plug or get set up before we head out of here? What's gonna be next for you? You
Yeah,
know, you're
man.
mentioning you're getting set up for the old boy video, right?
Yes, oh, dude, I've put the old boy video on hold. That shit is whipping my fucking ass like no tomorrow. It is
Copyright or
insane.
script or which part of it?
Dude, not even the scope of at which the video just grew is like there's so much information about Old Boy that's out there that I have. So I basically have about like 90 pages of notes, and I haven't even started watching the director's commentary or the DVD bonus material, which
Oh
is
shit.
like hours worth. I mean, inside the DVD bonus material, there's literally an entire 2 hour movie documentary just about the hallway fight scene.
There's
It's like,
so much detail you're gonna have
Jesus.
to go through when it comes to that. Like, yeah,
Exactly.
the
That's
research.
why. So I'm just trying to like do that. So I'll have the old boy video out probably in a couple of weeks cuz I put that on hold because for this month I've got the top 10 zombie movies coming out this week. So
Mm-hmm.
probably out by Wednesday or Thursday. The week after that is going to be top 10 horror movies for Halloween 2023, same as I did last year, movies that I hope nobody's seen before. I've got a lot of great picks, a lot of bonus picks too. So instead of being like 10, it's probably going to be about 15. And the last video that I'm dropping in October is going to be my Scream retrospective. So it's going to cover Scream 1, 2, and 3.
Oh
Then
shit.
after that, I'm going to cover 4, 5, and 6 in a later video in December. So yeah,
Oh
that's
fuck.
that's it for me
Full
for
plans.
Halloween, man.
When are you gonna do the Blade 2 podcast?
To Oh yeah, man, we gotta do Blade 2 one
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
I
No,
don't know yet. Like we still have everything like booked till the end of the year.
that's an
So Blade 2 is
easy.
probably gonna be next year.
That's a real easy one to get me to hop on. Or if you guys like, I
Oh
might even do
dude,
that.
don't worry.
I might even do that one if you guys don't do it quick enough because that's one of my favorite action movies. Just like over, like that's a fun grab a beer and have a breakdown real easy, you know.
Oh dude, it's Guillermo del Toro doing a monster movie. Like it's always gonna be fun, you know?
I I I
Blade 2
um
is the best.
I pick the Reapers from Blade 2 as like top 10 practical effects in terms of like my favorite designs. I love the
Ooh
opening,
yeah.
the horizontally opening mouth. I love the chest
Mm-hmm.
cavity and everything that they did. Just play with the idea, like do something. I just yeah. Really love the creativity, man.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, for anyone who doesn't know,
Oh
yeah,
dude,
this was
I'm
our
telling you.
my for the chat like first time streaming. Really, this was the introduction. This is stream number one. This is it. This is the first time uninspired reviewer is the first guest. This is the
Hey, nice.
introduction to the vampires, like And for me,
Mm-hmm.
I am working on just like you said. You have to do a bunch of research. I'm gonna have to watch WandaVision. I just rewatched all the
Oh,
yeah.
yikes.
I rewatched all the Thors. Um, I'm doing a script. My next one's gonna be basically a new format, a top 5
Mm,
video on the most wasted or ruined Marvel characters, and it should be pretty long. I'm gonna
nice.
go extensive in terms of trying to prove it and have a criteria. And Wanda, I have to make sure I do all my research first. I'm gonna watch WandaVision and go through the entire thing. I have like a good chunk of the script written already, but basically breaking down
Nice.
all the missed opportunities with the major characters of the MCU that you can think of. It's just pretty fucked up. And
Mm-hmm.
I might make something on Thrawn because that guy, like, I got nothing to say about Ahsoka. Everything I have to say about Ahsoka is in my reaction video. But Thrawn, man, I might make a video comparing him to Tywin because I love Tywin, one of my
Mm-hmm.
favorite characters. Thrawn, all I've known about this guy for years is that he's supposed to be like a space Tywin. Nope, he was fucking
Yep.
shit. Like, it's such an easy template. Just make him, like, intelligent and intimidating and have a mystique. None of those things. He's a buffoon. Yeah,
Oh,
Doctor
dude,
Doom.
that's how it is, man.
Tywin, Doctor Doom, like any of those, Magneto. Like, it's a very simple template, but you need to have a presence to you. This guy had nothing.
Dude, at least like
Crazy.
screen presence, you know, a minimum
It's
from
such a
the
fucking
actor.
shame, man. Yeah, I know. I can go on about Ahsoka all fucking day. It's just nuts, man. But yeah, we got to do this again for sure, man. We're gonna get this set up.
Oh, for sure,
The
man.
Walking
Yeah, man.
Dead.
I'm
That's
gonna get you on. I'm probably gonna get you on
yeah,
my
yeah.
stream as well. Probably for Halloween, man. We're gonna be doing Shaun of the Dead. So if you
Okay,
like that,
I'm fucking there. If we're doing Shaun of the Dead, I'm there. Holler at me.
alright,
Oh, you just
let's
you
do
just
it, man.
you just roboted like zombie style. Like I love that I have these
Oh
recorded.
man.
It's all good. No, but Shaun of the Dead, I'm there for sure. And we'll yeah, more zombies.
Alright,
So
for
we'll get you
sure.
back here for sure when we do the Walking Dead pilot. So
Walking Dead.
try to
Yep.
keep it going and get as many things as we can this Halloween. Like, do you play any horror games? Because that's one of the things I'll probably do like randomly, not even just the
Oh,
Sundays.
dude, I rarely play games. Like I only have a laptop, and my laptop only runs games till about like
Oh
2010. So,
jeez, noob, noob. Well,
oh,
if you see me
I'm
streaming any
telling you.
horror games, feel free to pop in the chat. We can do that easily.
Oh, for sure,
Oh
man.
yeah. All right, so take it easy, chat. Until the next time. It's the first
See
Supernatural
you, chat.
Sunday. Thanks for stopping by.
Goodbye.
Adios.